Right, we are live. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the Kiwi Lads channel. We are here for a midweek live stream and we are here for State of Origin Game 1, New South Wales Blues versus the Queensland Maroons. This game is always one to keep a close eye on. Definitely with it being the opening contest, it can set the tone for the 3-match series, but there are some phenomenal players across these two lineups. Now, I will be the first to admit I haven't watched as much of the NRL this year as I would have liked, but there's one thing you never miss, and that is State of Origin, and this is going to be a pretty epic clash between the two sides. Looking through at the starting sides for the contest, James Tedesco at the back for this Blues side, with Brian To'o out on the wing, Crichton and Staggs in the midfield, Koala out on the other, Ethan Strange, he is in the starting lineup with Nathan Cleary as the number 7 here for the New South Wales side. In terms of their fullback, Fanua Blake, Robson, Mitchell Barnett, also they have got Hudson Young, man's name who I always butcher. I think I butchered it a couple years ago as well. And Olakau Atu, I should say. And then Isaiah Yeo, the captain of this Blues side. He's the last man in the team. Looking through at the Queensland side, it is Kalen Ponga at the back, Selwyn Cobo out on the wing as well as in the midfield. They have got Taboy Fidel. I'll get the names eventually. They normally come off the tongue a little bit later on in the match. But then also Toya in the midfield, Fafita, Cameron Munster, and also Sam Walker, the last man. And the back line, looking through at the forwards, it is going to be Flegler, Harry Grant, Tino Fa'asua Malaawi. It makes no sense that I can say that man's name, but can't say some of the other ones. Ruben Cotter, Kurt Capewell, and also Max Play in the starting lineup as well. But we are not a mile away from the start of this contest, ladies and gentlemen. Like I mentioned, this one really does set the tone in terms of the overall outcome of this series. I'm just going to quickly show you what happened last year for the sides. We will start with that one. There we go, with a little bit of luck. No, that's 2024. We'll go 2025. There we go. So, in terms of the results that we saw, even though the New South Wales side did get off to a flying start, got themselves the win in match number 1, it was Queensland who were able to win the second game, and then also they managed to win the third. That one was the home game for New South Wales. We look at what happened the year prior, though. It was where we saw Queensland win the first game, then New South Wales won back-to-back. So I just mentioned how important the first game is, but realistically, if you win the first game, you're kind of looking more likely to lose the overall series, which is a not ideal scenario. But once again, you just never really know what is going to be happening out there on the field for State of Origin. We have got the RUC Sport. No, I'm excited for this game, I'll be honest. I love a midweek live stream, and I mean, State of Origin, like I said, doesn't get much bigger when it comes to the Aussie Rugby League side of things. What is State of Origin? I never heard of this in rugby. Says Ant played. So it's pretty much Queensland versus New South Wales. Two different states going head-to-head in rugby league. I'm trying to think of what the equivalent would be in rugby. I guess in a way, that one match that New Zealand did with North versus South, little bit similar to that. The best players from around the regions go head-to-head. Some absolute superstars from the NRL. And yeah, they play each other in a 3-match series each and every year. It always brings a lot of intensity to the game of rugby league. We have got there, I says Ant plays, welcome in, Blues are going to win. And also we have got there, who do you want to win? Well, the thing is, my mum goes for New South Wales. My dad goes for Queensland a little bit. I think that was just to be different from my mum. But I don't know. To be honest, I do like the look of this Blues side, though. In terms of Tedesco, he is one of my favourite players. So him being out there, maybe I have a soft spot for the New South Wales side here. But they've got some pretty handy players on the Queensland side overall. Tino Fa'asua Malaawi in there. Cameron Munster, he's been a bit of a workhorse for the past almost decade or so. They're just doing the last-minute warm-ups before we get into this match. It is about 10 minutes away from the kickoff, ladies and gentlemen. But if you are new, of course, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. Queenslander says Johnny Blaze there. Are you going to stream Crusaders games on Friday? Yes. And how do you like new Crusaders coach? I think we're to see him in action first. I'm very much so, and this applies to the All Blacks as well. I don't like judging a coach before they get into the job. Like, sometimes they look great on paper and then it doesn't end up performing. Sometimes they look bad on paper and they go out to be a brilliant coach for a side. Sometimes it's just the stylistic part of it, but I'm looking forward to seeing what he can do. I feel like Penny's been all right, but maybe they can get taken still to the next level. The State of Origin is pretty much the best of the best in rugby league playing against each other. Superstars everywhere. Both teams are stacked with bona fide superstars. New South Wales more than Queensland. Says Johnny Blaze. Yeah, they do come in as slight favourites for this game. The New South Wales Blues, although they are at home, so that can slightly change the odds a little bit. I would pretty much say whenever these two sides play, you're not a mile away from 50-50 odds. Unless, of course, one side is absolutely stacked. We saw that a little bit last year for the Blues. They started to really build a good bit of momentum. Stream lagging. Says Fortnite, is it lagging for just yourself or for everyone? Do let me know if it is glitching around the place, ladies and gents. Is it possible to do New Zealand Origin between North Island and South Island? Well, they did it in Rugby Union all those years ago, and it was really good. I almost said bloody awesome. That's not a swear word, though, so I guess I can say it. But it was quite incredible to see. And then they just decided to get rid of it, which seemed like a massive shame. But you know, if they ever bring it back, I'd be more than happy to cover a game of North versus South. It was a phenomenal finish all those years ago as well. The State of Origin says that it's 4 minutes away from the kickoff, but I don't think that's correct. Lagging up here as well, says Fleshin, so that is not ideal. We have got there, on your background are of 240p. Okay, so that's interesting because it doesn't say that it's like bad. I have changed location, so maybe that's why I might have to get an Ethernet cable before the weekend just to fix it a little bit, but hopefully it's not absolutely unbearable. I'm excited for the URC this weekend. Yeah, the quarterfinals of the URC are going to be taking place. Definitely ones to keep an eye on. We have got there, I watched the North versus South game. I can't remember it though. All I remember is that it was a great game, says K Slade. I remember there was a cross kick. I don't remember at what moment the cross kick did happen, but all those years ago there was a cross kick. I think Mitch Hunt was in that game. Rugby Sevens this weekend. That is also true. There's plenty taking place this weekend. There's also the last round of Super Rugby. Keep an eye on. I'm going to see what I can find out in terms of whether or not it's also low quality for myself or whether it's just being weird. Oh, yeah, that's pretty low quality, isn't it? It's making me look like I'm from like way back in the day. Hopefully it sorts itself out as we go on. But yeah, I'll have to get an Ethernet cable. We've changed the location of the setup, so that'll be why more than likely. But sadly, I don't have my normal Ethernet cable or my normal setup. So yeah, we'll hope for the best. Hopefully it gets a little bit clearer. 480. Oh, it's building. It's doubled. Just a little while. We have got there Ben Smith, the lesser article on the Canes being able to beat the Bordeaux has opened up a can of worms. Says Flan or Elflan. Yeah, and people love to get angry. So he's really done a good bit of job in terms of that. Like, the thing is, not many people take Ben Smith seriously, the journalist that is. But boy, can he get a reaction out of people. A little bit similar to what you see for, what's that fella's name from the North? Matt someone, isn't it? How people will talk about him all the time. And it's purely because he just rage baits them. And no more Super Rugby soon. I'm looking forward to the finals, though, up the Canes. TSK Slater, New South Wales backs minus halves at Pacific, or minus halves all Pacific Islanders, says NZ and Hammy, says Splash TV, and there's Jellybear replied saying make it happen. And how good would that be? Well, they're going to try and do it in 2028. Club World Cup is going to be taking place there. But yeah, they got a little while to wait before they get into it. We've got a World Cup first, of course. Roger and Tano got an ACL injury. I also saw Scott Barrett got an ACL, or not an ACL, he got a back injury. Going to be out for 5 months now, which is a bit of a hit for the Crusaders. Whether or not he was going to make the All Blacks was probably up to Dave Rennie, but it's definitely not what you like to see this close to the international rugby season. But do let me know, ladies and gents, your score predictions for this matchup. I'm thoroughly excited for it. Why you're not at your normal setup, Hamish? Because I have shifted it. So that's the main reason. I decided I'd try and rearrange some stuff, and it hasn't really worked. But yeah, now unfortunately I don't have that Ethernet cable, so I can't fix it yet. We have got to a point where people started bringing the old Super Rugby as no defense argument. Says Alflan, yeah, no matter what, people will find a way of bouncing back or firing back with random stuff. So you're just better off not getting into the arguments. Like, it's just much easier and less stressful. Oh dear, this isn't Rugby Union, it's Rugby League. That is true. There's also a Rugby League World Cup. Can't you get it back, your Wi-Fi cable? No. Because the old setup had it underground and this one doesn't. So I can't pull it out from under the ground far enough. We have there, I want Queensland to win, but I think New South Wales will thump them. They're so stacked. Says Johnny Blaze, and if the Blues drop to 4th and the Satyrs move up to 3rd, will it impact the final series at all? Yeah. it would mean that the Crusaders have the home playoff up against the Blues, which would be a big one. I also know that if the Brumbies win by a big margin, then we're going to get to see potentially Crusaders Brumbies as another match. But we're talking a lot of rugby union. Of course, State of Origin, that is one competition that is just about to get underway. What I will quickly do as well while we're at it is I will show you the upcoming matches for the rest of this series. State of Origin, the second game is taking place in 3 weeks' time. That'll be on the 17th of June. On the 8th of July, there's going to be the third game. So what happens is the first one, then 3 weeks off, going into the second, another 3 weeks off, going into the third, and then that takes you right around towards those playoff games of the NRL. Both sides in the chain here just about to make their way out onto the field. This one's set to kick off in about 4 minutes because that is the actual time rather than the early one that they did give. We have got their Super Rugby as defenceless, yet low-ranked Super Rugby side draw tackle stats better than high-ranked URC side Glasgow, says Johnny Blaze. So yeah, once again, it's one of those ones that no matter what, you can't convince someone that they're wrong when they think they're right. So, like, it's one of those ones, like, they could throw stats, and I'm sure there are some stats that look really bad for Super Rugby. And they could throw those ones out there, and then a Super Rugby fan will throw back something else, and then they'll throw something else back, and then no one goes anywhere, and no one ever moves on from it. But, yeah, that's social media for you. Do you got the black cap on next month? Not sure yet. I haven't decided. It depends on what else is happening. I'll go with the Reds as I don't like the Blues. So there's Al Flam there. It makes a good rage baiting though, especially on the rugby subreddit. If the Warriors convince Nelson Asafa Solomona to come back to NRL, then it's over. They'll be OP, says Tanner too. Yeah, good game this weekend in the NRL. Top of the table clash, isn't it, between the Panthers and the Warriors? It'll be a very interesting game to see how that one goes. The Wires are going good. I don't want to jinx them. As soon as we cover a Warriors game, they will start a losing streak. So I'm trying to avoid it for as long as possible and just kind of wait to find out whether or not they make the playoffs. If they make the playoffs, we may do their games, but we'll wait and see. We have up there, so is this full game? We will be doing the full commentary, but sadly, just like everyone on YouTube, they won't be able to show any match footage or audio, or else you get taken straight off YouTube with a copyright strike. It's pretty brutal. Even if you showed a couple seconds, they whip you straight away. Not literally. That would be a bit bad, but yeah, they'd take us straight off YouTube. So we are going to be doing the play-by-play, letting you know exactly what is happening. And at the moment, Cameron Munster, he is making his way out of the tunnel with his Queensland side, getting ready to go for Game 1 in State of Origin. Panthers without Cleary. So there's Samuel there. And the Wires are always lost cause by the time the NRL gets to the business end. And free-to-air on 9. Yeah, that is true. In Australia, it is actually a free-to-air option. Here in New Zealand, it's on Sky Sport 1. For anyone who is trying to catch this in Kiwi land, one of the State of Origin games maybe will go to New Zealand at some stage. We have got Pat Craft has said, notice me. I have just noticed you, Pat. Hope you are doing well. And what time is the game? Game is kicking off in about 2 minutes' time. Both sides have made their way onto the field, which now means we are just awaiting that first whistle to be blown. And then State of Origin, Game 1, underway for these two sides. Isaiah Yeo leading his side out. Anyone who hasn't already, let me know your score predictions. Let me know who you think will be walking away with the victory in the match number 1. The last 2 years, the victor of the first match has gone on to lose the next 2. So by that trend, I don't know if you actually want to win this first game. You want to put in a decent showing, of course, build yourself towards that game in 3 weeks' time. But there's no guarantee that if you win it, you're actually going to go on and win the series. But for New South Wales, they are considered the favourites. We have got Cooper Graham and said, hey, chat, welcome in. But now making their way on, Isaiah Yeo. He's a big man with a big tank. Needs his side to do the job here. We have got 29 for Queensland, 12 for New South Wales. Ooh, so a one-sided game for the Maroons by that scoreline. Also, yeah, who do you guys think will score the first try of this matchup? I've been getting a few right recently, surprisingly. You can't look past someone like a To'o in that back line. But I think that if we see a try from Queensland, I'm going Kalen Ponga. A little sneaky run down the outside. Get that man on the ball. We have got there, does Will Jordan play NRK or NRL? No. But he is also out for the rest of the season now, unfortunately. Will Jordan suffering that injury. He ended up hurting himself again, which is a bit of a rough patch, Brian, for Tweedy. So he's going Brian To'o as well. First try, Brian To'o. I'll tell you what, he's a popular man to score first, isn't he? in this matchup. We have got High Sears Demon the 11th. They are just doing the pre-match stuff. And then we'll be getting underway. Harry Grant first try. I do enjoy watching Harry Grant play. I feel like he is another guy that maybe doesn't get the huge amount of credit that he deserves. Just goes about his work. Does a lot out there on the field. What time is kickoff? It was supposed to be 10:05. So we're like maybe about, I'd like to think 1 or 2 minutes away from the start of this contest. But they are just doing the welcome. And then we'll be ready to go for this match. Go Maroons, says Dex. One of my mates confused New South Wales Blues with the Auckland Blues and thought they were the same team and called me a dumb. It was so funny when I called him out for it, says K Slade. It's probably easy enough to get confused. There are a few Blues sides around. I know the Cardiff Blues are another one up in the URC. Go New South Wales, says Sade in there. It's nice. We've got a good split at the moment in terms of some people going for New South Wales, some going for Queensland. What time is kickoff? Kickoff should be now, but they are still doing a little bit more of the welcome. But I'd say we're like 2 minutes away maximum from this game starting up, or at least that's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping that we're just going to go straight into it, ready to go for the upcoming match. They are just ensuring that the land is, I only heard about 3 words of that, but it was something to do with the land and blessing it, so that they're ready to go for this game. Up the Blues, says Sonny Phil. I know nothing about this, so we'll go with New South Wales as an old South Welshman. And also open up the Maroons, says Cooper. Right, they have done the welcome. And they're just doing a little bit of the Australian national anthem by the sounds of it. In fact, no, they are. So we are going to have another couple minutes before this match gets underway. New South Wales is the best, says Sade. And here we go, says Samuel in there as well. But yeah, the Australian national anthem being sung. The players are looking fired up. Walsh is not playing in this one. I assume that was the question. What we'll do is we got the Advanced Australia Fair. New South Wales, says Tanish there. And also Origin is the best bit of league I watch. Well, it's one of those ones, like I said, I have missed quite a bit of the NRL this year purely because of the overlap that it has with Super Rugby. But you look at these two sides and you look at what they're normally able to do. And it's just something about the rivalry, the big hits, the moments that happen throughout State of Origin are always must see. Brenton is spamming the daylights for Queensland here. And we have got there dropped, says Samuel. I think you might be ahead of me if you're already seeing the game. Oh, sorry. No, that's about Walsh. Show us the game, bro. I wish that I could, but as soon as I show any match footage, I would get taken straight off YouTube. They're very strict with the copyright policy. So it does mean that we can do the play-by-play. We just aren't able to show any of the footage alongside it. Do you gamble? Nah, terrible gambler. Terrible at predicting things. So normally the best way for me to not lose money gambling is to not gamble, because or else then I'd lose my money a lot. I backed Brian, or I didn't back him, but I said he should score first, Brian To'o. Whether or not that happens, we are about to find out. We have got the Up the Blues in Queensland, says Billy. We've got a few Queensland supporters coming through the mix now. And a few also still going for the New South Wales side as well. But they are just doing their final warm-ups. I would say this game is kicking off at 10 past 10. If I had to guess, it was initially going to be 10:05. They initially on the broadcast said it was going to be 10. But we're now almost there. Couple seconds away, and then Origin will be starting up for 2026. I have mentioned the stat a couple times, and I'll mention it again. Whoever wins the first game the last 2 years has gone on to lose the series. So, of course, you'd think getting that one match advantage would be a big thing, but I don't know whether it is for State of Origin. I wish it was played on Friday, says Expat there. And also, the fact I always come to your channel whenever there's a game I can't watch because I'm broke, says Takura. Well, we are happy to provide that coverage for yourself. Ashley Klein, I should say, is going to be the referee in charge of this one. Sky's looking blue tonight, says Sonny Phil. Yeah, I'm hoping to do State of Origin match 2 and 3 on the channel too. So anyone else who is new, be sure to hit that subscribe button. But we are just about ready to go. The countdown has started. And it's going to be kicked off by the New South Wales Blues to get us underway for State of Origin in 2026. Kicked off down towards the 10-metre line. Nicely taken by the captain, Munster. And he's in a 3-man tackle led by Mitchell Barnett. Across to the right-hand side here. That's a huge shot from Isaiah Yeo. He's saying Munster's not going to be the only captain involved in the early stages of this contest. Run from Tino Fa'asuamala Awi. Just sitting outside of the 20-metre line at the moment for Queensland. This is good defence so far from New South Wales, not allowing those easy meters. That is something that we saw last year in State of Origin. It was the side that were making the drastically more meters, with a side with all the momentum and most of the time walking away with the victory as well. Fifth and final, 27 metres gained by Queensland as they kick it downfield off the left boot of Munster. And now claimed nicely by James Tedesco, the veteran for New South Wales. First carry for him of Origin. Charging on again. Sitting just outside of their own 30-metre line here. New South Wales away to the right-hand side, and To'o a long way off his wing, wants some work early. There aren't a lot of stoppages in these games either, so I will try my best to read the chat after we have seen some sort of penalty or stoppage or try along the way, and that is an early penalty. In fact, no. It is the knock-on from Mitch Barnett on the ground. Gives Queensland a perfect attacking position here, not too far out from New South Wales' 30-metre line. Just in the process of getting up Mitch Barnett, the ball slipping out of their hands. I should mention there is rain falling. So we'll make it that little bit more difficult for these two sides to be able to deal with that slippery ball as the match does progress. But there's been some big hits already here, ladies and gentlemen. We have seen both sides going for it from the get-go. The scrum's been fed in, nicely taken by, I believe it would have been, who was that man? I think it was Selwyn Cobbo. He, again, similar to To'o, a long way off the wing. Just to try and get some early carries, get yourself into the game. Now offloaded on the inside for Queensland, who move up to 20 metres out. In the hands of Cotter. Up to their third tackle of the set. Now Walker passes on the inside. Tino doesn't make a huge amount of metres that time. Runs into Isaiah Yeo. Now Munster moves it away to the left-hand side. In fact, that time it was Grant. Now Munster moving it on nicely. The step there from Kalen Ponga. He's dragged down just 7 metres short of the goal line. That was fifth and final. Queensland looking for the cross kick. Munster sticks it up high. He's waiting for it. Patiently pass on the outside. Still 5 metres from the line. Offload again, and they wrestle him down with the New South Wales defence. They stop what looked dangerous for a second there. A little bit of push and shove almost afterwards between Cotter and Young. The cross kick from Munster. If anything, it just didn't go far enough forward, I would say, is the one criticism there. He wasn't able to get it inside of that in-goal area, or at least a bit closer. They had to wait for it for a while, but now Blues, they will have the ball about 25 metres out from the line. We have got to show the game. Sadly, any match footage or audio will get us taken straight off YouTube with a copyright strike, banned for 3 months and potentially sued by the NRL, which is the last thing that we really want, because that sounds like a bit of a headache if you ask me. Try not to put New South Wales too much turtle if you can. And New South Wales scored already, says Dave Mann. Well, we haven't quite had that here in New Zealand. Of course, we're a little way away from the game, so I think that just means that there's that slight delay from Sky Sport. Now, ball kicked high from Cleary. Taken again nicely inside their own half there for Selwyn Cobbo. Away to the right. There's Tabuai Fido. We have got there. Ponga is a bad copy of Walsh, says Splash TV. Go the Maroons, says Lerin there. 4 minutes into this contest, neither side have been able to score themselves a try as of yet. Normally what happens is the floodgates do open. It just takes that one try up to almost the halfway line here for Queensland with their fifth and final from Tino Faso Malawi, dragged down by Whanua, Blake and Yo. Now, kicked high and long. It's time by Sam Walker, taking a long time to come down, but always safe under that ball as James Tedesco runs it at Munster. Two men who have taken part in a lot of State of Origin contests throughout the years. Now 20 metres out from their own line here, the Blues. We haven't had many stoppages, to be fair. I thought we would have had a penalty by now for maybe a high shot or someone throwing a punch. We had that a couple years ago in State of Origin. I think Josh Addo-Carr was involved in that scenario. Of course, not playing in Origin this year. Nice run from Brian To'o, making a few extra post-contact metres as well. 14 metres out from the line. Good pick and go from Reece Robson, fifth and final. They made 46 metres that time there, the Blues, as they sink the slipper into it of Cleary. And another good take under the high ball. Been some safe work done by Selwyn Cobbo this far. We have you there, you're a little blurry today. Yeah, I don't know what's happened with the blurriness today. I've got to get another Ethernet cable, I think, which would hopefully help in terms of the blurriness that seems to be happening. But yeah, I'll swap from my old cable, so that might be why. But hopefully you guys can still slightly see me, even if I'm like 3 megapixels. Yep. 30 metres out from the line. 4th tackle already, and Munster decides to kick early. Oh, beautiful footwork there from James Tedesco. Be able to control that ball at the back for New South Wales. We are 6 minutes into this contest, and still they are going back and forth. No one has been able to get that try. They're talking about the rain getting heavier as well. So as that gets heavier, those high balls become more and more unsafe. Now going left-hand side again, Crichton. It's a 3-man tackle on him. They get kicking the ball back. I dread if building pressure, says QQ. A good run from Whanua Blake. They're inside of the opposition half at the moment. New South Wales going to the left-hand side. Now inside, ball back across. Cleary just deciding who the best option is. Goes to Isaiah Yeo. That is going to be the 5th and final again. Now back to the right. Kicking this one high. Cleary once again trying to put the pressure on around that 10-metre line. Going up for the ball, Cobbo, with another brilliant take. Tell you what, Cleary needs to stop kicking it straight down that man's throat because he has taken everything that's been thrown at him. He doesn't seem like he's at all looking anything but safe under that ball, Cobbo. He actually used the back of one of the New South Wales players to get that little bit more height. Now going away to the right-hand side here, Walker. Moves it on again to Ruben Cotter. He's just going very quickly at the moment, or tackles here for Queensland already up to their 4th. And they are now looking to use their backline to the left-hand side. Good fend from Kalen Ponga. Dragged down round halfway and 5th and final again, I assume. They'll look to kick this one as deep as possible. It is a good striker. The ball from Sam Walker comes down 5 metres out from New South Wales line. And James Tedesco, that looked a little bit high. Of course, I know in State of Origin, normally the head high is above the head. We've seen some massive shots from the old school days. Most of them in the 90s ended in punch-ups, of course. These ones not quite allowed to do that same thing. Where can we watch it? It is on 9 in Australia. And it is also on Sky Sport 1 here in New Zealand. There's another misplay of the ball. And Crichton not happy with the call there from Ashley Klein. It is going to bring the scrum again here. This game is a bit repetitive. Not sure why it's so big in Australia, says QQ. Normally, it gets going very quickly. Like for now, we haven't seen anyone score a try, but I can tell you for a fact that as soon as they start well and truly playing it, these two sides will be having big hit after big hit, line break after line break. We have got there. The quality makes you look like buff British Chev. Says, cool story. Maroons will win tonight, says Benjamin. I guess that's one big bonus. Oh, good suplex there from Stephen Crichton. No, in fact, it was To'o that time on Ponga, the battle with the headgears. New South Wales up the Waz, says Seta offer there. Now about 15 metres out from the line here. Queensland in a very good position now after their mistake was made from the Blues. Cameron Munster fends off one, tries to fend off another. But Barnett's managed to hang on to him up the Blues. Are we having the g'day, Hamish? Didn't realise you were doing this one, says Studs Race. Oh, little grubber in behind, and it sits up. The try is scored. And the first one of Origin for 2026 is scored by Robert Toya in the outside, or in the centres, I should say. The grubber in behind. There's a bit of a gap. They decided to kick a little bit earlier than they would, but that is a brilliant play from Queensland. Give the slight lead on away soil. But yeah, hopefully you guys, I mentioned about it before, and it has been mentioned a few times. I'm very blurry today. I have to say the one big bonus about doing State of Origin, not just the fact that it is State of Origin, but it is also that now I know that I'm going to be blurry this weekend if I don't get a cable. So I'm going to get that cable tomorrow. And that should sort out the streams, hopefully, for the weekend. I like how I went on YouTube and saw this, says BTW Padser. Yeah, we've been kind of chopping and changing it whether or not we were going to cover this game. But at the end of the day, I decided, you know what? Going back to 2023, that is when we used to cover every single match of State of Origin. Might as well chuck this one out there and see how these two sides go. But Queensland getting the early lead. It's quite interesting because I feel like the Blues, with the exception of their handling errors and their misplacements of the ball, they've probably been the better side when it comes to meters made. But the one mistake again when Crichton tried to play it on the ground. Are we over there? Have you been lifting weights? Not that I know of. I don't think so. Are we over there? IVF, did they not want to play Jackson Ford up the Waz, says Johnny. That's all good. I got you on my phone and my TV. I got the cricket. Oh, yeah. New Zealand versus Ireland taking place, isn't it? They're just showing that fender Cameron Munster initially. But it was a very nicely well-placed kick. The grubber in behind from Walker. Saw the man with him, and Toya gets the first try, 2026. Now, opportunity to line up this kick of the post for Sam Walker. It is a State of Origin debut today. A lot of pressure, but he has nailed that kick about as central as it could have been. And it gives Queensland the lead 6-0 over New South Wales. Question is, can they continue that momentum, or will the fact that New South Wales were making those meters, will that come and maybe get them a try relatively early? So that, yeah, he couldn't have kicked that more in the middle of those posts if he had tried, I don't think. That was the perfect kick for a guy on debut to just relieve some of that pressure that comes with a big moment like that. Now, kick here. Your shoulders look huge. I see you for the next one, says Cool Story. I'm not sure why they look huge. Maybe the camera's moved a little bit. And Sam Walker was with a massive play for Queensland. Says Gus Town. Yeah, the assist, the kick. It's exactly what he would have wanted in the early stages of his Origin career, but kicked off long from New South Wales down to 10 metres out. Nice take from Munster. He passes it off to get it in the hands of the big forwards. Try and make those extra metres. That time was the run from Flegler. Now, three-man tackle driving Queensland back. And Amish, a.k.a. Paul Daddy, says Johnny Blaze. That's a nickname that definitely is not going to stick. Wow, says Disassembly. The big driving tackle again from New South Wales, but it's called as 6 again. Just held on for a little bit too long there. If they hadn't, they would have really had Queensland deep inside of their own half, but now able to work their way back towards the 40-metre line. Another tackle on Ruben Cotter. Harry Grant plays it left this time. Walker. Sideways shuffle towards Munster. Now quick hands from Ponga on the outside. Tabuai Fidel, I should say. Now Selwyn Cobbo. We've seen a lot of what he can do under the high ball. Good to see him with the ball in hand as well here. And that is fifth and final. They gained 27 metres from that 6 again. That is 27 more metres than they could have had if New South Wales hadn't infringed. James Tedesco, another run from him. Wait to the left-hand side. The shuffle from To'o to make him a couple extra metres. 12 minutes into this game already. That's one thing about State of Origin games. They absolutely fly by. Now wait to the right-hand side again. Big, hard carry from... I think that might have been Olakauatu. I always say his name wrong. I did in the build-up anyway, but he just flattened one of the Queensland defenders. Nathan Cleary kicking it up high and long. A nice take from Ponga this time at the back, although Selwyn Cobbo was lurking, ready to take the bomb, and now he gets the line break. Passes on the outside. This is a massive chance for Queensland again, flying down the wing. Tedesco muscles up and makes the very important tackle he's hanging on to. It didn't cause a 6 again, but Queensland are on the front foot and looking to shift it right. Cobbo slips over. In fact, it was Ponga. That time Walker now moving it out to the left. There was a miscommunication as the path was skew-if. Now Cobbo cleans it up. Gets them back on track. Galen Bonga says, Johnny Blaze there. Oh, nice break of the line again. Offload from the back. And Harry Grant wrestled down. It's a quick fire little patch of play there from Queensland. It started with the line break, but now they're nice and set. About 15 metres out from the Blues line. 4 tackles already. They got another chance to get this one moving. They look short side. Good hands, but does eventually lead to the Ruben Cotter tackle. Now pick and go here. Trying to pierce. Flick out the back door. Beautiful hands from Munster. And Queensland go through again for another try. It's Thomas Flegler who gets it between the posts. And that was a phenomenal bit of play from the Queenslanders there. Up the Blues said Midnight's in there as well. But that is some silky skills right there from the Queensland backline and the Queensland skipper and Cameron Munster. Just managed to find a way of flick passing this when he had 2 men already on him. It looked like the ball was dead and he wasn't going to be able to do anything with it. But we see him moving away to the side. Yeah, 2-man tackle. I want to say that was on purpose, but that also kind of looked like it kind of slipped. But I'd say we've got to give him credit for it. In fact, it was Harry Grant, not Munster, my apologies. And that looked on purpose from that secondary angle. Yeah, that's a great try. New South Wales going to slow them down. See, it starts racing. It all came from that 6 again. When they gave that away, New South Wales, they gave away their advantage on the field. And then eventually, we just saw that Queensland break. And boy, was it a good break that they were able to have there for Flegler. You see the celebrations. And that looks like one of the pubs, probably in Queensland, I would think. A lot of maroon shirts rather than the blues ones. About 15 minutes down. We have got there Queensland going bananas. Says Gus down there. Bogan Central happy as if. Says Studs race. Now the kick for Sam Walker does go over. He's going to make the score now 12-0 in favour of Queensland. It's a quick fire start too. And like I said earlier on, you'd argue that New South Wales had the better plays or the better sets, but there have been 3 crucial errors that we've seen at the moment from New South Wales that have drastically cost them throughout this contest. 12-0 on the board. I'm just going to have a quick look at State of Origin back in 2023. I mentioned now the last 2 years, the winner of the first game has lost the series. 2023, not the winner of the first game did win the series. That was Queensland, but that was when they were at home. They're doing it away from home here at Accor Stadium, which makes it that much more impressive, but about 12 metres out from the line now. It's back in the hands of the Maroons. Now that is 12 metres out from their own line, I should say. Now moving forward again. Second phase. Going off the Tino Fasu Malawi. Offload there as well, keeping the ball alive. Queensland are starting to feel a little bit of rhythm here. They're starting to make a lot more metres as well. Now across to the right, Munster has the man on the shoulder. He almost snuck straight through. The Blues almost caught napping in defence, but Hudson Young made a very crucial tackle. If New South Wales want a great chance in this game, they have to be the next team to score. Kalen Ponga finally played for the Kiwis, says Johnny Blaze, but that is 5th and final 62 metres gain that time for Queensland. And that's going to be a highly contested kick. Knock on from To'o. Gives the ball straight back to Queensland, who had numbers to the left-hand side, but they have got another set of 6. Only about 15 or 18 metres out from the try line. Back away to the left-hand side. Another nice step from Walker, who looks like a veteran the way he's playing out there at the moment. And the space that he's able to find up to Queensland, says Preza. And also Queensland says Irie there. Now Munster in behind. He has got 2 men with them. No, they decide against the pass. Now halfback roll there for Cobbo goes on to Munster, the most recent try scorer. Flegler's got the ball. I'm switching to Queensland now. It's early enough in the game though, although this might help them here. Another grubber from Munster. And it's another try for Queensland. Tell you what, this is something that I don't even think Queensland's most faithful were expecting after the first 20 or so minutes of this game. In fact, less than 20. And they've scored 3 times. That is definitely not what was going to happen at the start of this game in a lot of people's eyes. But Queensland have come out like a I was going to say a horse on fire. That's not the saying though. What's the saying? Like a house on fire. That's the one. No horses involved. But we have got there. Y'all spoke way too soon. Says Irie there. Let's go New South Wales, says Evie. But yeah, good finish there. This time from Hamiso Tabai. His last name gets me. Tabai Fidel. There we go. We got it out in the end. And we have got there New South Wales. And talking AB, some New South Wales going to win this year. And also final score will be 32-36 Queensland, says them in the 11th. Okay, so you're giving some more tries, or at least some tries for New South Wales. Brian To'o spilled the bomb. Thank you also. I do it again, Us. Well, that's the thing. 4 big errors now. I talked about how it was 3, but now it is 4. How the To'o knock on, there was the Stephen Crichton misplay of the ball, there was the knock on about 15 minutes earlier, or not 15, probably 5 minutes earlier, and then also there was the 6 again when Queensland were under pressure near their own line. Those are the 4 big difference makers at the moment, and boy, have they been dangerous on attack, Queensland. They have not been like wasting any sort of attack when they get inside of that 30-metre line. But now another kick here. And Sam Walker has got another one. He now makes it 18-0. I'm just going to have a look back. Have we ever seen, not in recent times anyway, a game that was going this one-sided from the get-go? In fact, I apologise. 20-0 was the score last year in the deciding match. 24-12 in favour of Queensland. We have got their also on fire. Seems like something our text language needs. We have got the 18 all I mean, says them in the 11th. Go New South Wales, says Uza. And now kicked off long again from New South Wales. Back underway. They need to change something soon here or else this score could get that little bit uglier. Patrick Carrigan makes his way on. He's one of the interchange players for the Queenslanders. And Queensland killing them with their kicking game, says Gus Down. Those up and unders I mentioned about earlier on, the rain. Seems like that has had a little bit more of an impact on this game than maybe some first thought. Now run forward from Ruben Cotter again. And Queensland baby. Origin will lose its appeal if New South Wales continues like this, says Katzenell. Now kick downfield. Although I'll mention it again. 2024, 2025. Both where we saw one side win the opener, did they lose the series? That sounded like I asked it as a question, but it was more of a statement that they did lose the series, whoever won the first game. But the fact that this is in New South Wales territory does make it that much more impressive. Another error from New South Wales, a knock-on on the ground. And in fact, it's going to be called as an offside. Against New South Wales here. It looks like To'o may have been the man guilty of it. Apologises to his teammates, but now Queensland are on the spot again with a chance about maybe 25 metres out from the line. There is in their own 20 is killing them absolutely. Every time they drop the ball, even inside of their own half, every time that ball goes down and an error is made, they are then in a really good position, Queensland, to just go 1 or 2 phases, 1 or 2 tackles, and then go on and get themselves another one. New South in the mouth, unlucky us. Well, looks like he needs a point. Says that's race for Loz. Be a little bit of a team huddle here for Queensland. I would think that the tactic would just be to continue what they're doing, because boy, has it been effective so far. New South Wales getting too many errors in the first half. Yeah, they've had a lot of drop balls. That's now, I want to say, their 3rd knock on. Their 4th if you count Crichton's mismatched. Okay, this is slightly disappointing, but I guess it makes sense. Queensland are going for the 2 here. Makes sense. It's points. But I thought in a situation where you've been ripping them apart, that's where I think you should have gone, put the hammer down and really take them out of this game. Because New South Wales, they have struggled to defend a set within their own half, I believe, so far. New South Wales feeling the pressure, says Gus Down. They are, but I think they'll be relieved at the fact that Queensland take a 2 here, rather than going aggressive. But it is going to make the score now 20-0. In 2008, Queensland beat New South Wales 30-0 in the second test. Says team in the 11th. Yeah, it can happen. But this is now 20-0. This is the score that it was in the 3rd game last year. That ended 24-12, I think it was. I haven't seen a clean sweep yet. In 2010, I was 2. And we have got there Billy Slater over Laurie Daly. And also Queensland might feel their pack needs a breather. Take the 2, says Thuds Race. That is probably a more smart way of looking at it, to be fair. I think I was getting too excited and just wanted to see them keep on going. And we have got there. Let's go. Queensland Blues will always lose. Says that's your fave. And we have got there Queensland is the best. And Hamish, did you move house? Not exactly. But now sitting about 20 metres out from their own line here. Queensland moving away to the right-hand side. Cotter. Oh, almost a tip tackle on him. Let's go, Queensland. They're just showing tomorrow the Women's State of Origin Game 3 will be taking place. Their biggest win was 52-6. And I don't know why New South Wales always start as faves. Queensland always win. Says MIA down under. It's probably not a bad shout. Yeah, they do sometimes struggle in that first game, the Blues. They seem to come right in game 2 most of the time. And come on the Blues, says Lou there. Now ball in hand for the Blues. They sit about 30 metres out from their own line at the moment. Queensland, says Gus there. Now moving on nicely, Brian To'o. And it's another knock on. It's Brian To'o again. That man seems to be dropping the ball more times than he's holding it at the moment. Girl State of Wales, good watch. New South Wales has no depth. Says MIA. New South Wales is always hyped up. But yeah, another knock on. Errors 5-0 is the count at the moment, which pretty much straight away when you look at that stat tells you exactly why the scoreline looks the way that it does. Come on, New South Wales, keep fighting. Says Evie there. And we have, there you go, Maroons, says Pong. Now back across to the right-hand side. Queensland with the ball in hand, about 40 metres out from the line. The hands of Kalen Ponga. Last thing that the Blues need is a 6 again here. So they could end up conceding the 4th try of this first half. And there's still another 17 minutes remaining as well. Now going away to the right-hand side, Patrick Carrigan. Nice take from him. Oops. Wasn't the right button, was it? I think we go like that. We have you there, Queensland says that's your fave. Now break of the line. Chance again for Queensland. Kalen Ponga stepping around. Ball on the inside to Tino Fa'asu Malawi. He'll be dragged down 8 metres short. They have numbers to the right, and it looks like Munster. No, it's Grant who spotted them. He went to Munster, who has a massive knock on. And they'll go back. We have you there. All of a sudden, we have plenty of rugby league commentators. Says Manny in there. Yeah, we have done State of Origin before, but it was back in 2023. It's been a little while since we've got in there, but we did cover the last Rugby League World Cup, and we will be doing the same for the upcoming World Cup as well. Munster, he got smashed there in the challenge. We have the hospital pass from Harry Grant. And New South Wales have got no answers, says Gus Town, although that was a good shot and a good hit from Ethan Strange just to try and change the momentum a little bit. They are still deep inside of their own half here. And Brian To'o, he's hung on to the ball that time. Now back across to the right-hand side. Big carry forward again. They just need to keep on going as they're a free live stream. There is in Australia. They do have the option. Sam Walker playing like he's a veteran. And the field says Manny in there. Yeah, I mentioned it earlier on how he doesn't look like this is his first game. He seems like he's well and truly set, and as if he's got like 10 Origin games under the belt, if not more. But there is a 6 again there against Queensland, so they're now up to the 3rd phase of their next one, New South Wales. Going forward was Cameron Murray. Way to the right-hand side. Isaiah Yo moves it on to Cleary. Rush defence, spot tackle, missed. That time from Queensland, Carrigan manages to finish the tackle off. Now quickly played again to the right-hand side to Young. Victor the Inflictor to make his debut. Says Johnny Blaze, they have made a lot more metres that time. New South Wales, 50 metres. Cleary puts it high, down to about 5 metres out from the line. Nice take again from Cobbo, but there's a penalty. Tedesco taken off the ball there. I can't get our hopes up yet. New South Wales could catch up in the second half. New South Wales completed a set of 6. Yeah, it's been a rarity in the last little while of this contest. But the thing is, this is a good side. Like, on paper, they'd be pretty disappointed with how they've gone thus far. But that doesn't mean that it can't get better. New South Wales, they decide to take that one up to about 5 metres out from the line as IAO. Now, this is the big chance, the one big attack that we have seen of the last about 25 minutes for this New South Wales team, and they still have 14 minutes on the clock to try and mount a bit of a comeback before half-time. That was almost obstruction, but still going forward. Still around that 5 metres out. Now off to the left-hand side. Here comes the grubber from Cleary. He went early and the Blues score their first of the contest. It was much needed, and it's Hudson Young gets the first try of the match for the Blues. How old is Teddy? That man has been playing forever. I have no idea how old James Tedesco is, but like you said, he's been around for what feels like the whole of the NRL. He's only 33. Probably still got another good few years in him. Probably still get another 10 Origin caps to his name before the end of his career if he keeps going. I guess that would be a good question. Who would be the next guy in terms of fullback for New South Wales after Tedesco? Because, Tedesco's been there for so long. So who would you guys go with as your next fullback for the New South Wales team? At least they got one in, and it could be the start of a comeback. You just never know. Momentum is a wonderful thing, and in State of Origin, we've seen it time and time again. Our side think they're in control, and then the other side somehow just keep on going back. Dylan Edwards, good shout. Yeah, the nice bit of pace off the mark there for Hudson Young. Queensland and New South Wales. Well, currently Queensland are in control. I'm not ashamed to admit I thought New South Wales were going to be a lot better throughout this first half. I thought they were going to have a real good crack at this one. But it hasn't really happened yet. I just jumped in and did not expect the scoreline go Queensland, says Damien. And I bet the New South Wales coach is calling them by the wrong names as of right now, says Manny. Nathan Cleary. Ready to kick this one and does get it straight over. That makes the score now 20 points to 6. Still in favour of Queensland. And Kali Natal has said Queensland in there too. Just the 12 minutes remaining of the first half. I always say State of Origin seems to fly by for halves. And Rugby League is dying because of refs like Ashley Klein, says MIA. I think he's refereed pretty much every game. Has he refereed every State of Origin match recently? Of course, he's refereeing this one, but was he the referee for one of the games last year or more than one? It just seems to be that he is always the ref. Maroons, says Gillum there. I agree with thinking that New South Wales will start off strong, says Irie. And I see Nathan on the wires after he leaves his father's shadow, says Katzenell. And then if the Blues finally scored, says Craig, yeah, they'll be feeling a lot better about themselves now, but they have to keep it going. Another try before halftime, and all of a sudden this game gets very spicy for the second 40. And we could see the Blues with a good chance of coming back. But if they concede again throughout this first half, I think they're in a bit of trouble. Going away to the left-hand side, though. Run from James Tedesco, tackled by Flegler. Hello from New Zealand, says Craig. Welcome in. Currently sitting just after 10:40 p.m. here in New Zealand. Quite a few people staying up late for this game before heading to bed, getting ready for work on a Thursday. That one's going to be kicked in behind by Cleary. It's a low, awkward, bouncing ball. Nicely taken by Kalen Ponga. Now a good, slamming tackle there from Staggs. There was a bit of a little bit of extra oomph on that one from Staggs, maybe from the frustration. Samoa watching, says Leonard. It is greatly appreciated you being here. We are going to be covering that Rugby League World Cup, and tell you what, Samoa look absolutely stacked for that tournament. I'm hoping if it's anything like we saw at times throughout the Pacific Championship last year, they should really have a decent crack at winning it. And just a minor glitch from Queensland, letting New South Wales in, says Gus Town. And next one's on my birthday, so I hope I get the win, says Craig. One's going to be kicked high by Queensland after the set is complete. Again, a nice take under the ball from James Tedesco. Never looks troubled at the back, always calm and collected. And also go the Blues, says Prod. And there as well. Now going away to the right-hand side here. We have got their both from the Manly Seals. They're doing great with the new coach, Kieran Foran. Let's go New South Wales, says Evie. Yeah, well, there's been a few coaches going or coming and going, but it just seems to be every once in a while something clicks in terms of like coaching box and the players. And some guys are coming right superstars. That's a spiral kick and a half there from Cleary, but the miscommunication did not lead to too much for Cobbo and Ponga. Cobbo yelled a little bit louder and ended up getting it. Who are you going for? I just like it being close, to be fair, but it would be good to see New South Wales win the first one, confidence-wise for them, but it's not out of the ordinary whatsoever for Queensland to win the first. That's the kind of exciting thing. We have got there Queensland going in again. Says MIA down under. And is Ali Katoa doing all right? I hope people take Knox seriously this time, says Katzenel. Yeah, I haven't heard too much about what's happened to him after that Pacific Championships. He took that really nasty blow before kickoff. And they just decided, oh, well, we'll just keep on playing him now. Nice run forward there for Queensland. Up to 40 metres out from the line. Fifth and final, 42 metres gained. And Walker sends this one high down towards the 10-metre again. Safe under it is Teddy Tedesco. And they'll be about 25 metres out from their line now. Kreiter and To'o having a shocker. They need to regather and recalibrate, says Tilo. And that is where halftime will probably be the regroup stage for those men. Now, you're going to show the game. Sadly, any match footage or audio will get us taken straight off YouTube with a copyright strike and banned for 3 months. But we are going to be here for the 3 games of State of Origin. So if you guys are enjoying, be sure to hit that subscribe button. We are also normally in slightly higher quality. I don't know why it's so blurry, as the Wi-Fi seemed all right, but we'll get that fixed before the weekend. Another run forward from Reece Robson. It is fifth and final. 44 metres gained for New South Wales. So relatively similar in that department, leaving the mark very early. They've been chasing after that one, going up for the ball in a beautiful take. He would have winded himself there, Selwyn Cobbo. Oh no, it was Ponga that time. I keep on getting those two mixed up. They've both been so safe under the high ball. It's hard to tell who has actually had a better game when it comes to catching that aerial challenge so far. But yeah, it was a hard landing on the back for Ponga, almost on his side as well. Pitch is better than before, says Thuds Race. Is it still pretty blurry, or has it got to the stage how it's almost like the last streams? Thuds Race, do let me know. Now Munster running sideways. Looks for the offload, gets it away. Ponga moves it on to Carrigan. Walker now. A few extra vital metres here for Queensland for the fifth and final. Now kicking it downfield. Walker looks to get the decent distance on it and does so, although he might have got a little bit too much. No, the wet ground manages to pull that ball up. Tedesco running it back again for the Blues, lined up early. And the shot from Capewell. Are you sharp here? Says Leonard Taylor. And also, I wanted to watching live. It is available on 9 in Australia, I believe. Is it 9 or is it 7? No, it is 9 now, sorry, yeah. As the Aussie option. Also, Sky Sport 1 here in New Zealand. Another run from Brian To'o. Another 6.5 minutes now remaining on the clock for the first half. It has been flying by backline now for the Blues. Tedesco goes on the outside. Bit of space now opening up. A big fend is met with a big tackle. And that is the fifth and final. Another 45-metre gain. Tell you what, they're averaging just around there. And that's a good grubber in behind there. Does mean now that Queensland will have themselves the possession just about 20 metres out, almost normal, just slightly gainier than your regular crisp self. As in the microphone slightly gainier. Or maybe grainier might have been the word, and then it auto-corrected. We have got there, please let Maroons win. Says Paul, and go the Maroons, says Speedy Gaming. And if you're New Zealand, most pubs are showing it live, yeah. There's a lot of places around. They did show a pub before that had a lot of people in it and a lot of people going for Queensland. I'll be more than happy with the start here. Tackles made at the moment. Zayo's made 21. Robson and Young have both made the 22. And then Max Playfair has the most for Queensland with 20. So some busy men already throughout the first half. Munster moving away. It's a big knock on from Ponga. And it's going to sit up for New South Wales. That is the type of error that we have seen costing New South Wales in this first half time and time again. Can it reverse now? And can they make the most of the Queensland error on the attack? 5 minutes remaining and they're on their first tackle. And it's 6 again, just to add a little bit more of a chance for them to be able to score the try. And up the Maroons, says he's there. And also the Maroons, says Dixon. Tell you what, a lot of people going for the Maroons here. Backline movement going away to the left-hand side. Skip pass out to Stephen Crichton. Tries to cut back in. He's met with a very good tackle from Nakora. Now second tackle here. New South Wales. They are down by 14, but they can close that gap to as little as 8. Now out to the right. Short, flat ball. Can't go through for Victor Radley. Now moving on. Little grubber. It hits the post. Awkward bouncing one. It's grabbed on the ground. They're claiming try, but they may want to just check to make sure that this one was legal. It looked like there was a little bit of a grab of a shirt in the process of that ball going close to being grounded. But that bounce off the post certainly made it a little bit of a spanner in the works in terms of the distance on the kick. So it made it a lot harder to be able to defend for Queensland. We're going to see it now. Does initially hit that post, bounces back. It's in the in-goal area at the moment. Is there a shirt grab or is there just a little bit of friendly shoulder to shoulder? There's a fair amount of grabbing going on, but then touch of the ball. It looks like there may have been a knock-on in the process too. They'll want to go a little bit further through the replay. See whether or not there is a chance of the grounding for Cameron Murray. That ball, it's down. Does he catch it before it hits the ground? It hits his arm. It bounces into the forearms. I think, okay, they've gone no try. That was a pretty quick decision. They actually didn't fully check the grounding, but I think it's going to be ruled as a knock-on. But there was a bit of shirt pulling, like I mentioned. The desperation for both men trying to get themselves that ball in the in-goal area. It all happened so quickly. Go the Maroons, says Linda. And there as well. I want to watch the live stream, so it is available on 9 Now in Australia and also Sky Sport in New Zealand. Those are your two best options for being able to watch this game live. Like they said, as soon as the hands went on to Kate Wells' back, it could have potentially been a penalty, but it was not the call. Instead, now they're able to kick this one. Oh, no. No, my apologies. They did give it as a penalty. I realised they were talking about it a lot, and I thought maybe that they hadn't in the end. But yes, the penalty is awarded, and Queensland now have themselves the ball about 40 metres out from their own line. 14-point lead. Another try here could be the nail in the coffin for New South Wales in the first game. But they also are still close enough. They could fire back. Carrigan, good run, straight at his IEO. Moves into the mid-20s now in terms of the amount of tackles that they've made. Cameron is very silent. Says Katzenell. Now 35 out. Walker moves it on. Great hands from Ponga. That was a huge shot on him to send him backwards, but he bounced straight back up. Like quite a few people probably would have stayed down from a shot like that. But fifth and final, 42 metres gained. And now, was there obstruction? Referee Ashley Klein says no. And it means that now the Blues have got themselves the ball. They're just saying there about that shot from Stags on Ponga. Notice they all had to drop their betting company sponsors. Says MIA done under. Full movie, says Joshua. It is on 9 Now and also Sky Sport 1. Your two best options for watching State of Origin. Brian going away to the left-hand side. More possession here for the Blues. It's been a lot better throughout the last, I'd say, 15 or so minutes. There was that patch early on where it looked like nothing was quite going their way. They had handling error after handling error. Now up to the halfway line here. It'll be the fifth. 45 metre gain. It's such a common number at the moment for New South Wales. They've had the last two times that I've been keeping an eye on it, they've made 45. And the time before that, I think they made 44. That was probably only a centimetre short of 345s in a row. Now Munster moves it on. Big carry. Solid run from Selwyn Cobbo. And an up like he's a forward. Fafita. It's also going to have a bit of a crack and away to the right-hand side. I think that's the first time we've mentioned Fafita at the moment. We have the New South Wales Blues versus Queensland Maroons, full match game 1. Says Jay. Now Munster, they have got numbers to the right-hand side, but it doesn't look like he was ever thinking about going wide with it, just taking that tackle. And that one's going to go high once more. Just outside of the 10-metre line. It looked like it was going to be taken by Queensland initially, but none other than James Tedesco got up again to be able to claim the ball for his side. I'm here, new here. How can I watch the series? Says Siddick, if you are in New Zealand, it's on Sky Sport 1. If you're in Australia, it's on 9 Now, which is actually free to air. So if you have a VPN, if you're anywhere else, you can actually set yourself to Australia and be able to watch these State of Origin games. But outside of that, I'm not too sure what other options there are for State of Origin. It would be somewhere in the UK, I would think. Now moving on again towards our halfway line. Quick fire, 5 They only gained 34 metres that time. New South Wales Cleary with a flat pass across to Tedesco, debatably forward, but it will be play on now. This ball's kicked high. A smart play there, and again, a beautiful take from Kalyn Ponga. Just doesn't seem to be able to drop the ball with that exception of the one moment on attack, but anything off a kick, here's safe as houses. It's a big shot there on Fafita. Currently just the 35 seconds remaining now of this first half. New South Wales players need IVs with pre-workout at halftime, says Tilo. And go the Blues, says Xavier. Now 20 metres. Now from their own line, that was a forward pass. So they will get, I believe, one tackle here. There's only 12 seconds remaining. The question, if you are New South Wales, do you just take the tackle? I would say yes. That's all well and good going for the risk of an attack, but then at the same time, if you end up, throwing a wide pass and it gets intercepted and the Queensland side score, then you might pretty much take yourself out of the game. It's a big decision that they have to make. Go the Maroons. That's some cool writing, Benjamin. How'd you do that? And Link Live Full Game says, Matakop, the best option is 9 now in Australia. And Kieran To'o should be ashamed of their first half. Oh, drop goal attempt here from Cleary. That one hasn't gone anywhere near the post, nor has it had the distance. And they'll just run that one dead with Kalyn Ponga, but that will be the end of the half, ladies and gentlemen. It is 20 points to 6 in favour of Queensland. And go the Maroons, says Vidya. And what was probably about as good of a half as they could have had in terms of those early stages, getting the points on the board and just continuing to apply that pressure. Now, I will say, if we're basing it off the final 10 minutes of the half, the Maroons have probably got a little bit of something in them here. The Blues have probably got a little bit of something, because even though they were struggling for metres, there were still a couple moments where they had Queensland under pressure inside of their own half. They just need to get that one very solid set that could then help them out. But Munster, 1 try assist, 9 runs, 66 metres gained, and he made the 10 tackles throughout that first half. Who do you go for? So I'm from New Zealand, so it makes it nice and easy for myself. I'm normally pretty much down the middle for these two sides. But, it'll be interesting. I feel like this game definitely not as close as I thought it would be. But at the same time, there's still time, I think, is the perfect analogy there. There are still some great changes to be made later on in this contest. Go the Maroons, says John. Will you be also streaming the Super Rugby games this week? That is correct, yes. So we are going to be having Hurricanes versus Crusaders. I will also mention we've got some exciting stuff coming up for a few of those Super Rugby games this weekend, as well as the URC matches. We are going to have almost like a Super Brew live predictions game situation. I don't know how to explain it very well. The boys who are in charge of it definitely do better than me. But what it is you pretty much make live predictions about a game as the game is taking place. If you get it right, you get points. And then whoever has the most points at the end of it, they get themselves a prize. So, I definitely say, if you like winning things, or at least want a chance of winning things, be sure to tune in for that Crusaders Hurricanes game, because that is the first of the weekend where we will see it in action. But something a little bit exciting. Also something that you guys can get something out of. So, very exciting. How good is the new stadium in Christchurch, J. Hamish? It's an atmosphere and a half. I did go to that Crusaders Chiefs game. The sides were loud. They were electric in terms of the crowds. And hopefully, that atmosphere is replicated this weekend between the Canes and the Crusaders as well. We have got their watch the full match, says Blackie Black. So it is available on Sky Sport here in New Zealand, as well as the option of 9 in Australia. But those are probably your two good options. Munster has some turkey teeth these days, says Tilo there. And also we have got there, they only play rugby in rich private schools in Australia, says MIA down under. You do see a lot more of the boys going into that rugby league side of things, as well as quite a few in the AFL as well, to be fair. But, rugby union in particular, it's not the most popular sport in Australia. I think it's about 4th or 5th, I believe. But it's trying. Some good players in the mix. A few of those league guys have recently come over into rugby union sides as well. We have got their thoughts on Moana Pacifica bailout. It's a shame about them, isn't it? Like, you don't like to see it at all because Moana, they've had some brilliant games and brilliant, moments throughout the last couple of years, but unfortunately it's just, it just doesn't seem like it's going to work. They had the opportunity to be bailed out and their board denied it, which makes no sense to me whatsoever. It just seems like a weird choice. Yes, says Jason, and is Will Jordan playing? No. And he also isn't going to be playing for a wee while. Unfortunately, he's got about a 6-week injury by the looks of it. NRL is the reason Wallabies are so poor, says Samuel. And we have also got the, what about Rugby Sevens over the weekend? Yep, we are also going to be covering that. It's going to be an absolutely hectic weekend taking place. Maroons all the way, says Jimmy Hendricks. And if they gave public schools a shot at rugby, we might have a good team. And apparently still more to come on Moana Pacifica, says Gus. Yeah, they've got time, but I don't know what's going to happen. I'm not a fan of New Zealand taxpayer funding for Moana Pacifica instead of health services it was meant for, says Studs Race. And go the Maroons, says Pamela. And man, tough luck to Moana, but I'm still wondering why they didn't take the kind of lower offer. Me too. I think it was something to do with the fine print or something along those lines. But I would have thought you'd take anyway to stop you from losing a side. But obviously that wasn't the main goal for them. Just looking through, ladies and gentlemen, in terms of what is coming up, New South Wales versus Queensland, that is taking place in 3 weeks' time. That one's going to be the midweek game on the Wednesday, which does mean we should be able to cover it on the channel as well. And then also the Wednesday game the week or 4 weeks, 3 weeks after, and that is going to be Queensland versus New South Wales. To be sure, keep an eye out on there. My prediction of the Highlanders finishing 9th is looking pretty good. Yeah, well, they're in a predicament, aren't they? They just kind of have to sit and wait and hope for the best. But, yeah, I think you're probably going to be on the money there in terms of how they end up. I'm just going to have a quick look at the games that are taking place. Ladies and gentlemen, it is currently halftime as well. We are waiting for the second half of this one to get back underway. We have it there, yeah, because the ref made Brian To'o drop the ball 5 times. Yeah, struggled a bit, didn't he, Brian To'o, under that high ball? Well, not even under the high ball, just running with the ball in hand. Just kept on slipping out of the fingertips, which confused a lot of people because normally that man is pretty handy with a ball in hand. What do we got? Highlanders. Oh, wait, no. Oh, yeah, because I don't see the Fijian draw beating the Reds. Not in Reds territory. So, yeah, I think they'll be 9th. Moana definitely aren't catching them. That's one thing for sure. He never makes mistakes. Yeah, which is why not only him making one mistake is weird, but him making multiple mistakes in quick succession just feels a little bit strange. But he might be better in the second half. They may not even keep him out there that long in the second half, depending on what the game plan is. And go the Maroons, says Mary. And go Maroons. And also we have got there, but the ref stopped that try. That should have been try. Queensland hit that right out of our hands, says Kyle. And who was the man who put the first try? Please tell me, says Tanya. So the first try was scored by Robert Toya, the number 3 for Queensland. Who did I pick for the first try? I went with Ponga, but I didn't quite get it right in the end. Who do you think will sign the number 8 for Moana Pacifica, Miracle Whailangi? Because they need good clubs. I think if we don't see them go to Super Rugby sides, they would both be very much so welcome in either France, England, or Japan. I think that anyone who's been keeping an eye on Moana Pacifica will know those two men have got a bright future ahead. But, the Blues. Imagine the Blues signing Tupo Taialoa. That would be a pretty handy replacement for Satutu. Even Whailangi in that loose forward trio. Can you tell me the try scorer, says Joey? So, try scorers that we've had so far. Robert Toya has scored. Tapai Fidel. We've also seen the try from Flegler. Those are the 3 tries for Queensland. And just the 1 try from the Blues. And that was the try of... Who got that try in the end? And how have I already forgotten who it was? It was off the grubber, forced the ball down. Was it Hudson Young? I can't even remember who scored the try, but at the moment, 55% possession for Queensland throughout that first half. Oh, Ethan Strange. Mr. Number 18 was able to score that one. And Rev is going to give the Blues 4 cheap penalties this half, $20, says MIA. And also Strange says, I love you. And also we have got there, continue Maroons to be 1. And Ethan Strange says Samuel. And how many types of football are there in New Zealand? Well, it depends on who you're talking to, because like footy, the word, which sounds a lot cooler when other people other than me say it, but footy could refer to like rugby. I guess it could refer to the rugby league side of things. Footy could be football, as in like soccer. So it's probably, you could probably say 3 could be referred to as footy, but football-wise, it just depends on how old school you are for certain sports. I've heard a lot more of the older population kind of still refer to everything as football. We have got there Hudson Young from the Cleary Grubber. Wait, was it Hudson Young? Or was it Strange? Who do you think will make the Super Rugby final? I'm thinking Hurricanes Chiefs. I'm thinking it's going to be at the top of the table clash. But I think one of those two sides may also end up as a lucky loser. One of the sides that do get the lifeline. I'm 51. Says Michael, what do you refer to it as, Michael? We have got there. Who do you think? Oh, no, I read that one. Tuputai Loa could play number 8 for the ABs. Bro is another Billy Vunipola. Big, massive number 8. There's some big, solid boys around at the moment in the rugby union side of things. AFL Gaelic, so many footballs. Says Modern. I remember back at school we had to play Gaelic football. And I remember it took like a full period of school or a full period of class for people to even understand how to play it, which seemed to just be too long, in my opinion. But we got there in the end. We also played Koffball. Has anyone played Koffball in their time? There we go. That's a bit of a niche sport. Anyone familiar with a bit of Koffball? We have got there. It's the first half. So it's the first half. Am I right? Half time at the moment. Second half not too far away from starting up. We have got there. Is it a fair assessment that to say that Miracle Whailangi was awesome last season, but nowhere near the same this season? I'm guessing having Artie Savia around him definitely made a positive impact on him. I think he has been a bit more quiet this year, but I also do think that he's still got enough in him, if that makes sense. Like he will have another good year around the corner. Canes versus Bordeaux, who? By how much? Depends on where it gets played. Like, that's the reality of it. I feel like rugby nowadays, definitely the last, I'd say, 24 months, we have seen more than ever how much a home field advantage can help. So if that game's played in New Zealand, Bordeaux probably wouldn't even take their best side into it, so the Hurricanes would win that. And then if it's played in France, I think that Bordeaux win it because their crowd is absolutely incredible. They had a crowd in Spain that were going fully for Bordeaux. So I think it would be the same if they were to face the Canes. I used to play that, says Fortnite. As in, like, at school, actually, like, you played it as a sport that you took part in often. Padded tennis was a popular game when I was at school. Padded tennis. Is that like swing ball or is that like pickleball? Which one would it be closer to? Swing ball used to be an absolute hit. You know, the one where you drive the peg into the ground with the tennis ball on a string, slapping that one back and forth. We have their Blues might as well sign Miracle for Papali and the Blues, and number 8 for Hoskins. Yeah, although I think Savia's trying to sneak his way back into a New Zealand side so that he is eligible for the ABs. Is there a salary cap in the top 14? I think so, but it's pretty massive. Toulouse did breach the salary cap once, and they were penalised points, but they're still in first even after that penalty, I believe. I was trying to ask you if you're a Maroons or a Blues. Well, my mum goes for the Blues. My dad kind of goes for Queensland, but only because of the old school Queensland guys. Like, we're talking probably more than probably a decade, maybe 2 decades ago. But then he's a smart man because he'll also slightly go for the Blues because my mum goes for them. So then, happy wife, happy life. That's the saying. But me, I'm pretty on the fence. I like both sides. I do like James Tedesco, I would say, the most out of any player out there on the field in terms of a player who's been my favourite for a while. But I do also like Tino. I like Harry Grant. Munster, he's been around for a long time, but does nicely. We have there, I go for the Maroons. Says Bacon there. And we have got there, Blues are better, says Alex. I had a Swedish girlfriend in grade 4. They moved us apart because we were getting lovey-dovey. In grade 4, that's when you're like 8, isn't it? And need Cobber to try and Queensland 2 tries. Oh, sorry, Queensland to win. And I win sports bet for the win, says Buzzman. I also go the Blues. Basically a small version of tennis, also Foursquare. Where the tennis ball was very popular. Yeah, what? Was it called Foursquare? I think it was, right? We used to do it with a bigger ball. I think it used to be a basketball. Is it still halftime? Yeah, it's actually felt like quite a long halftime. We've covered a lot of topics. We've covered a bit of union. We've covered random sports. What else have we covered? Probably something else that I've already forgotten. Able to show us the actual game or no? Sadly not. Any match footage or audio gets you taken straight off YouTube. So the best that we're allowed to do is kind of like the play-by-play commentary. But yeah, it does get you in trouble showing any match footage or audio. Sadly, you get pretty much taken straight away. But second half of this one is just about to get underway by the looks of it. Foursquare is called handball in Australia. See, handball for us was that weird one. Well, it's not weird. I shouldn't say weird because people play it for a living. But you know that one where you hold on to the ball and you got to throw it into, you got to throw it into the nets. Are you coach? I'm a coach of a team, just not a rugby league team. We have got there no more. Tana Boiwa, he's injured. And also they've seen Ben falling into the pool with the top 14 trophies, says Manny. Also 2 squares, says Alex. And handball was fun, says Buzzman. Yeah, see, PE wasn't that bad back at school. Some people used to hate PE. But when you think about it, you got to literally not learn, other than, of course, the sports side of things. And you got to go out and have people to play a game with. You know how hard it would be nowadays to like randomly find 3 or 4 people to play a game of handball or play a game of Foursquare or anything like that. Even finding someone to play a little bit of what was it called that I said before? Swing ball. Finding one other person for that, people would look at you funny. Do you know what the score was for the top 14 grand final? Yeah, Bordeaux won it by a decent margin. In the end, I can't remember the exact score. About 41-19 or 42-19, maybe somewhere around there. Make a chant, says Wings. It doesn't quite work though. If I'm chanting and I don't hear anyone chanting back, then it just seems like I'm, well, I guess talking to myself, which I kind of am in a way. But then you guys can see me, I just can't see you. The first one to chat again is the Maroons, says Matisha, and also Queensland Hopscotch. Hopscotch used to be such a good one, didn't it? Now is IEO leading his side back out onto the field. This is 40 minutes where they really have to pull it together here in New South Wales. They have way more handling errors than they would have wanted to have throughout the whole State of Origin series just in the first half. They can fight back now. See what they can do. Maroons are winning again, 2 for 2. There's Wings there. And also we go the Maroons. A lot of support for Queensland. At the moment I do see. Although a lot of support in the stands for this New South Wales side. In fact, I'm not seeing too many Queensland kits in the stands. Yesterday I threw a kick at my teacher, says Alex. That's probably not what you should have done. We have there Maroon, says Joanne, and also go the Mighty Blues, says Kenny. And also Rico was terrible, says Samuel. Yeah, a lot of people I have seen online blaming that man for their loss, but I don't think he was the only one who didn't quite have his best game. I think Maxime Luku's just an insane talent at the moment. And we have there the IPL, says Alex. Now we are ready to go for the second half. Do let me know your end score predictions, ladies and gents. It is kicked off now long by Kalen Ponga to get us back underway. The Blues with the ball in hand, 10 metres out from their line, and already a good aggressive tackle made early. We've got a donation from MIA Down Under. He said, let's go, because he broke Queensland in there as well. It's looking like a great year for Auckland. With the FC winning the grand final, New Zealand Warriors winning and top of the table, and the Blues doing decent. As always, says Manny. Now another tackle made. 3 tackles already completed in the second half. Another good run from Olakauatu. Yeah, the Maroons go, says Matthew. Offload here, trying to keep the ball alive, making a few extra crucial meters as they move up to the halfway line. Go Queensland, sees Butter there. And back across to the right, Nathan Cleary sends this one downfield again. It's a good take. Put live feed up outside. Says Buzzman, we will keep you informed about what is happening in the game, but sadly any match footage would get us taken straight off YouTube. Now, ready to run this one forward again for Queensland. We don't care, bro. Starts there, Stephanie. Stephanie must be new here. We aren't actually able to show match footage. That's why we're doing the play-by-play, because it's illegal if we show anything. And I don't really like going to prison. Been there, done that. Not actually. We did go to a prison when I was younger for, like, school. But it wasn't an active one. It was like a prison cell. But now, sitting on the halfway line. Going away to the left. Now Munster puts it high again. Brian, I tell you what, he would have been nervous under that one with the way that his hands have been working throughout today. We've got another donation, this time from Johnny Blaze. As they go, Queensland up the wires in there as well. Zio was one of the busier tacklers out there on the field, but he still made a few meters along the way on attack. Another good carry from Tedesco. What's the score, bro? At the moment, it is 20 points to 6 in favour of Queensland. Oh, he's muddled it up again on the ground. It's the unforced errors at the moment that are absolutely hurting them, the New South Wales Blues. Every time that they almost seem like they're coming right, they just make a little mistake. And up the Dogs, says Stephanie there. How was your reaction to Miracle Fire signing with the Wales? I'd be surprised, seeing as he's never mentioned anything to do with any sort of rugby league side of things. And we have got there. Hi, Maroons. Says Falcon, welcome in. And when will the second half start? It is started now. 6 errors from the Blues, 3 from Queensland. Who's winning at the moment? The Queenslanders are, and it's another drop ball, but this time from Queensland, which puts the error count up to 4 for them in the contest. Stephen Crichton, he was spinning all over the place. Didn't get the call of 6 again. Error count is 1-1 in the second half. Up the Blues, says Food. And as this now, it certainly is. State of Origin Game 1. Next game has taken place in 3 weeks. The question is who will be leading the series heading into that one. Cleary with the inside ball. To Olakuatu again. Now, you're watching it as on Sky Sport 1 for us here in New Zealand. Short side play here to grab it in mind by Tedesco, but cover is back there and Ponga just knocks it dead. Smart. There was a little bit of pressure on him. I don't support the Blues, but these mistakes from them are just dumb errors. And up the Blues, says Fix. In there as well. And so are we going to win New South Wales? If they score next, they're in it, is what I'll say. If they concede next, I think they're probably not coming back from this deficit. Oh, well, that doesn't help. Somehow, some way, Queensland have got the ball back off their goal line dropout. That one certainly did not make the crowd impressed. They were expecting their ball back with the home side. Shot again on Ruben Cotter. Oh, an early kick here. Third decides to go quickly, looking for the potential 40-20. It's going towards the sideline. To'o under pressure, and he will just take the tackle. No crazy move pulled off there by To'o. Seemed like he was happy enough just to get back there, have his team get set. Start to put together a few more tackles. Are you over there, please? I'm not watching. How can I do to watch this in Mona? So if you go on 9 in Australia, would be your best option, as it is free to wear. For those viewers from Australia, Tedesco going away to the right-hand side again. Big collision, Crichton and Munster. And go To'o, says Fix. Yeah, he needs a big second half here, Brian To'o. He had his fair share of errors in the first, but if he can find some sort of rhythm here, maybe score a try, that will be the confidence booster that he needs. One's going to be kicked in behind. Awkward bouncing ball, but Ponga's controlled it nicely. Oh, a little bit of a slip and slide there too. And Maroons do good. Says Leicester. Back across to the right. Oh, big slamming tackle onto the back. It'll take a little bit of the wind out of fafita. Time to chuck a few hash browns in the air fryer. I've never tried cooking hash browns in the air fryer. Does it work well? Are they mini or big? The hash brown size. Now backline here for the Queenslanders. We're going back to hash browns in a moment. There's another big driving tackle on Ponga. How's your experience across your stadium? Was the gourmet hot dog up to your standard? I didn't actually end up having a gourmet hot dog. I had the chicken on chips with like some sweet chili honey or whatever it was. But a plain hot dog on a stick was $10, which seemed pretty steep. Nice take there under the high ball. Tedesco. Safe as houses. Cobbo man of the match, says Samuel there. Yeah, Cobbo's got to be up there. I think Ponga, with the exception of his drop balls, had an extremely strong game too. Walker's looked incredible for a guy who's supposed to be on debut. I don't think anyone reminded him that he wasn't actually a veteran of this game. Oh, bit of a drop ball from New South Wales again here. They just can't catch a break when it comes to handling of the ball. And it does give Queensland again another massive opportunity to create another attack. Now back across to the right-hand side. Now Kurt Capewell. Guys, who's winning at the moment, 20 points to 6 in favour of Queensland. And they might look to make it a little bit of a bigger margin here. Carrigan dragged down. Third tackle, only 8 metres out from the line, across to the right. Walker moves it on. Grubber attempted in behind, but well handled by Kohler. $10 for a hot dog, outrageous. That's what I thought. You seem to be lagging more, says MIA. Yeah, it seems to be doing a little bit on the stream. Like I mentioned, I haven't got my Ethernet cable that I normally would have, but I'm definitely going to have to get it so that I can use it for this weekend's upcoming streams. Now, Tedesco. Another solid tackle. Get hot dogs from work for $55 for a 50-pack. I just can't bring myself to pay extreme hot dog prices. Yeah, like even, I'd say $5 for a hot dog solid. You know, that's probably the going rate of hot dogs in general, like when you buy a hot dog. But yeah, $10 for one that looked pretty average was not ideal. Although I had sauce on it. Maybe the sauce is, oh my goodness, that man's head went back. He went flying backwards in that challenge. He's all right though, but it looks like he's asking the referees, hey, by any chance, was that high when my head got almost decapitated off my neck? Now back across to the left-hand side. Another carry from Kate. Well, he's had a solid old game so far and still got plenty more impact that can be made. Going short side now. Walker got it out to Ponga. Down by Oh, that is now the 5th. 48-metre gain now. Walker stepping nicely. Pops it on the inside. Finds the hands of Munster, who will sink her high. Chasing after this one now. What a take that is from Queensland, but they can't quite free up the ball. That's the last tackle and the turnover. What's the score at the moment? It is 20 points to 6. However, bid foods options are endless. Says Jason there. And score please Queensland for the win. Says City. So currently, yeah, 20 points to 6. Oh, they're checking this head high. They believe there's high contact, says Ashley Klein. The thing is, to word it like that when it was so clearly high is a weird way of wording something. Well, the referee, they believe there's a high tackle. I think they're checking the wrong thing here. They're saying that Max Plath... Oh, they're checking for that head high. Okay, it's worth a penalty. It is going to be Queensland's penalty 1. Bag of built on with jerky, much better option. And against the Blues, there's MIA and paid $7 for an American hot dog today, says Gus. The crowd pisses. Yeah, no, they aren't going to be happy with that call. Challenges remaining. Both sides still have one with 31 minutes left on the clock. Oh. Okay, apparently the bench signal for 2, but this looks like a quick tap and go here. The score is clearly on the screen, but we continually ask what's the score, G? Says Johnny. Now back to the right. Munster. Pops it on the inside. It's going to be Lindsay Collins. Good interchange player to have, making his way onto the park now. Walker moves it on. Ponga with the step. Can't quite get through. If it's worth a penalty, it's a penalty try. This is BS. Says MIA. Well, I don't think it was close enough to a break. He was already being tackled and it was the second shot coming in. So I don't think they were going to ever look towards a penalty try. Now, back across to the right-hand side. Carrigan. Ooh, it was almost an awkward neck crunch for him, but he is all right. Fifth and final. They gained 2 meters from that play, but Ponga, nice skip pass. They will be half a meter short of the line in the end. It was a great ball from Ponga. Almost fed them through the gap. Now we have a decision. Says Johnny Blaze. Oh, that's a massive shot again. Up the Maroons. I think the physicality is just getting a little bit more as this match progresses with just the 30 or so minutes remaining. Now back across to the right. Ryan To'o does often get to carry up for either the second or the third tackle of the set for the Blues. Vanua Blake, that's a name that hasn't been said enough today. But he will have a big last 30 minutes or so. He's actually accidentally foot-tripped his teammate there. That is already fifth for New South Wales, only gaining 31. Cleary looks to send that one downfield with a torpedo boot again. Well taken at the back. And come on the Blues, says Anthony. This is going to be a big little situation here. Because if the Blues score next, they're still in this game. If the Maroons score next, this game, I believe, is done. So this all comes down to, I would say, the next 8 minutes, we're going to know roughly whether or not the Blues have any chance. Now Carrigan again. Up to the fourth tackle now for Queensland. They sit 35 metres out from the line. Harry Grant, nice inside ball from Walker. Back to Carrigan. He's had 2 carries already in this set. As he is taken down once more. That is the fifth. Patrick Carrigan overrated to anyone else or just me? Says Alumni there and tried to dust off the Cattle Dog Blues. Says Jason, that was a good ball. And it's well taken by Brian To'o. And again, that is probably a player who would be most nervous to try and take a high ball. What is the score currently? It is 20 points to Queensland, 6 to the New South Wales Blues. They're down by 14. There's still another 28 minutes remaining though on the clock. So plenty can happen throughout that period. So a lot more sets to be completed too for these two sides. Away to the left once more for the Blues. They look to move up to the 30-metre line. Once again, very good defence from Queensland. They aren't allowing easy meters. All Cleary decides he wants to run it or wants to run it. That looked a little bit high from Queensland. It sounds like it's not going to be given. So this might be one where the Blues consider challenging. I think they might as well. We over there is New South Wales. Don't give up. Up the Blues, says Solomon. What's the score? Says Turtles at the moment is 20 points to 6 in favour of Queensland. Like they've said, any contact with the face will lead to more than likely a high tackle. It did look quite high, didn't it? I need to see the game, not you talking, says Elwin. Well, the best bet would be 9 in Australia. And that way you get to listen to the actual commentators rather than myself. And you get to see the game. A little bit of a triple bonus there. Carrigan won the grand final and has been on holiday ever since, says Johnny Blaze. Right, so the challenge was unsuccessful. So just like that, challenges remaining. New South Wales no longer have any. It could hurt them in the later stages. No high, says MIA. And New South Wales never should win. And up the Blues, who agrees, says Solomon there. Now a big shot from the Blues on Tino Fa'asul Malawi. 27 minutes left. That time is going to tick by faster and faster. Definitely if Queensland can get themselves another run from Patrick Carrigan. Halves inside the opposition, 20 metres. Queensland have had 20. New South Wales have had 3. They'll probably had 20 touches inside of their own 20 at this stage. Tackle on Munster by Cleary. Pick and go Grant. Off to Walker. Trying the spin again was Capewell. Amazing commentary, bro, says Turtles. Thank you very much. We are going to be back for game 2 and 3 of State of Origin, so be sure to tune in, as well as that Rugby League World Cup on the channel as well. Now Munster lined up early. Big driving tackle A nice challenging goal. And there we go with the Maroons played the referee, and it's only game one post coming. Says Manny, now this one's going to be kicked into the in-goal area. It is well taken by the Blues. Caller does incredibly to be able to keep that ball in his hands. There was some heavy contact in the air. I think the crowd are once again not happy. I just got to swallow my pride and tip Crusaders to win Super Rugby this year. Even without Will Jordan, though, Jason, they've lost him now for the rest of the season due to the ankle injury. Although, to be fair, Johnny McNichol did very nicely in the last game for the Satyrs as well. Now, Nathan Cleary, that one's gone just short. And uncontested there from Queensland, just allowing the Blues to take that one back. Means 25 minutes remaining, some more much-needed ball for the home side. The crowd, they're starting to get a little bit restless. Meters game, we've seen an extra 150 or so meters for Queensland in this contest. They've had 55% of the possession. Some would argue that the Blues still haven't really found their feet throughout the first 55 minutes of this game, but that's the beauty of Origin. There's still another 25 for them to be on fire. They need something to start, and they need it to start from that man, Nathan Cleary, the number 7 jersey. I think the Canes going to put out a B-side against the Crusaders? A little bit. I think there'll be a bit of rotation now. Cleary going for the 40-20. It's a short, low kick, and nicely taken by Ponga at the back. Now running back across. Good shot. Again in the middle. It was Ethan Strange that time making the tackle. Walker's tackled a little bit high by Fanua Blake. Like I mentioned in Origin, normally the head high is you got to hit them on the forehead before it's considered as any sort of high shot. They are tracking to be peaking when it matters, says Jason there. And also Blues in the quicksand, says Samuel. Yeah, they've just struggled to make their meters. Another sellout in Christchurch Friday night. Yeah, it's sold out on Saturday morning, I think it was. Nice run down the wing. Cobo, he's almost put into touch. Yep, referee's flag is up. And it's going to be Blues ball again. I say when everyone is thinking Highlanders aren't going to make the semis, says Manny there, and Blues will lose, am I right? At the moment, it's looking likely. They haven't been able to get that massive breakthrough try that they need. Those extra 2 points that Queensland took at the time, it seemed like an interesting choice, but it could be the difference if we do see some sort of play from New South Wales. But again, it just hasn't happened. Not yet anyway. And again, there's still time. A lot of sets. A lot of chances. But Queensland, they have a big chance to put this one to bed if they can get just one more. Can you say hit instead of hit? Just wondering, bro, says MIA. Probably not. We have got there, Hamoli is lazy, says Christian. Yeah, we haven't seen a huge amount of him in this game. But the problem is, when he gets the ball, Olakauatu, like, he makes the meters, but he just doesn't touch the ball enough, or doesn't seem to find the ball. That's a nice run down the wing by the Blues. That was high and an ugly shot, but it's a knock on. This seems like there's about to be a bit of push and shove. The feeling of Origin is coming out for these two sides, and there's a wrestle on the ground. At the moment, they're saying there a sin bin at least could be on the cards. Have you been to the new one, New Zealand Stadium? Yeah, I actually went for the Crusaders Chiefs game last week. I decided since I was going to be up here, or at least up in Christchurch, I thought, why not go experience it, seeing as, yeah, it's ugly. Ponga's hit him hard there, and I don't think there were a lot of arms involved in it. No, that's just a straight shoulder from Kalen Ponga. He could be in a little bit of trouble here. He's knocked the man unconscious too. He was floppy as he hit the ground. But like they're saying, he's tucked that arm. And that's probably something that's going to lead to something more than just a slap on the wrist for Kalen Ponga. And we have got there, KO says, he KO'd well and truly. He is still down at the moment. They're halfway trying to wake him up. Crusaders versus Chiefs was a great game, to be honest. Yeah, it was a much better game than the previous one that I went to, which was Crusaders Highlanders the year prior when it was 15-12. Who's injured, Blues or Maroons? Blues player ended up injured. Kalen Ponga is the man who could be in a bit of trouble here. He's hit him that hard. He's actually knocked his eyebrow off almost. For Kohler there, like his His eye got split open on impact there, but he will not continue in this game. The question is, will Ponga at this stage, or will he find himself going off the bin? Or sorry, going off the field? They might go card. We're about to find out. Ashley Klein is calling over Kalen Ponga. What's the decision going to be? What are the scores? 26 at the moment in favour of Queensland. You're off, is the call there from the referee. Kalen Ponga's going, was it my shoulder or was it my head? And the referee has said it was direct contact to the head of Kola, who will not continue, but sent off now for Kalen Ponga. That is a big moment in a game that was still splitting at the seams as to whether there was going to be a chance of a comeback or control for Queensland to finish off this one. Gone. Says studs raised there. And score please says Situ, and it's 20-6. And Red says Don, it's the equivalent of a red. Yes, sent off, he's gone for the day now, Kalen Ponga. Start throwing more than just handbags, please, lads. Says Jason. That is a big call. And now the Blues, they will have the attack from 20 metres out. Laurie Daly, finally something to smile about and bring back the biff, says MIA down under. Well, this is off call, isn't it, says Gus. The problem for Ponga is the way that he twisted, because he did go straight in with the shoulder. Sent off yellow or red. It's red. He's gone from this game now for the rest of it. Now going away to the right-hand side. The Blues with a chance to run over, and they do. Ethan Strange scores the try. That game and that little moment has completely changed everything here. 6:20, although now it becomes 10:20. And time to witness greatness, says Turtles. Red or yellow? Red. Straight red, not coming back for Kalen Ponga. And already it has cost us Queensland's side. Going away to the right, though. It was good link-up play, and then just breaking through was Ethan Strange. It was a poor tackle from Munster, who straight away started pointing fingers, saying that someone was tackled off the ball. And to be fair, probably got an argument. That might have been obstruction in front of the player. And I would say, well, Queensland do still have a review, or at least a captain's challenge. Maybe they should use it there. Emma to fullback, I'm guessing with Ponga out. Potentially. I haven't quite seen yet who's going where. We're going to see it now. Yeah, that's a big clean out off the ball there. Although, just play on is the call from one of the commentators. We have got there. Reece Walsh will be back for game 2, I'm guessing. Says Jason. Yeah, he's got 3 weeks, 21 days till that second one does start up. That ref should never be near a game again, says Kiwi. Right, they're going upstairs to check this one. I think that this was pretty possible obstruction. They're just going to work out whether or not there was contact with Harry Grant in front of the play, which there was. So he stops the opportunity for Harry Grant to be able to make that tackle. So I think this one's going to be, unfortunately for the Blues, cancelled out again here. I'm back, everyone. Says Alif Forcio. Hopefully I've said that correctly. Obstruction, says Samuel. So yeah, this is going to be no try. And it's going to go back down to 20-6. There's been a few times that they've almost scored here in New South Wales, but the penalty will go to the opposition. Now the Maroons says Ovea there. Or Ovea, I should say. But Alokuatu making the mistake. Just got a little bit too far in front. Right, Kohler undergoing head injury assessment category 2. We have there, stay here, baby, says the AI. And also it's Ponga's fate. Walsh will be back. And also come on the Maroons. Says it's Micey. Now going away to the left. Ball on the halfway line for Munster as he's tackled by Fanua Blake. And also Brayley. Go the Blues. Here's Capistran. Okay, that wasn't a set restart, so it does mean 34 metres gained by Queensland. As they kick it downfield. Oh, what a take. That is under the high ball. They've just said the first touch in Origin for, was that Casey McLean, was it? Yeah, it was. First touch for him, and it was an absolutely incredible one. They're watching on a cruise ship in the Coral Sea. Everyone on board glued to it. So here's Jamie Stewart. Yeah, there's something about State of Origin that always is just an absolutely incredible atmosphere, the rivalry between the two sides. And currently this game is still up for the taking. If the Blues can score next, they're right back in it. Cleary moving it on to the right-hand side, breaking the tackle there again. Seems like Strange is really coming to his own throughout the second half. Same with that man Staggs. Now balls high from Cleary. About 10 metres out. Oh, was there obstruction? There's the penalty awarded to New South Wales. They were blocked from contesting for the ball. Oh. Okay, they're going to challenge this. Okay, Nakura straight away has said, challenge. I was looking at the ball to Cameron Munster. So he believes that he hasn't done anything wrong in this scenario. The question is, was he telling the truth? We're going to see it now. Yeah, he runs a blocking line there. So I think this is going to be a challenge unsuccessful, and it means that now New South Wales will have the ball, and neither of these sides will have a captain's challenge left. Casey McLean, Brian Toto'o. Remember how he destroyed Toa Samoa by himself? Says Johnny. And go the Blues, says Rebecca, and go the Maroons. Says Lynn in there as well. I just realised that I've had Bring the Biff back on the screen for about 10 minutes. Those reviews never work. Says starts race now going away to the left-hand side. The Blues on attack. Great sail of the dummy, almost going through for Victor Radley. Now moving it on again. Fanua Blake goes across Tedesco. Again, just short. Are you talking? What's your name? My name is Hamish. I assume you're talking about me, right? Oh, a little bit of a throat grab there. That was an interesting moment. Cameron Munster, he was getting held on the ground with a hand round his throat. But now, fifth and final. They haven't gone forward yet, the Blues. Still the 10 metres out. But now there's a chance. Ball on the inside to Crichton. He's knocked it on. That seems to be the common occurrence for New South Wales. And at the moment, Queensland have survived many onslaughts just in recent times. We have there who's going to win. Says Anor. I think Queensland have a decent chance purely because of the fact that every time New South Wales almost get there, they don't finish the job. They get within 5, they do all the hard work, and then they just can't get that final put down. Oh, that was a big shot. Right, Cole has failed his head injury assessment. There's absolutely no surprise there. That man got hit extremely hard and was knocked unconscious. Another big collision there for Tino Fasua Malawi. How much time left for full times? At the moment, we've got another 18 and a half minutes. Ash Browns with Pepsi Max to wash them down, living it up here. Says Jason there. Now going away to the left-hand side. Munster moving the ball on. Delayed pass there, but it seems to have worked out not too badly. Queensland getting good ground, but close to the sideline there. Just staying in the field of play for Capewell. Now kicking it downfield. Walker goes high. This one's going to be tricky, and it's beautifully taken there by Casey McLean. He's had 2 massive touches for his side already in this contest, and it puts the Blues right on the front foot. They've got numbers on the outside. Crichton does break through too. He's on a breakaway. Walker trying to get his ankles, doesn't quite do so. The Blues hurdling players all over the place, and they score now to give them that try that they have been trying for all of this half. They finally have it, and this one will not be denied. There go the Maroons, says Barry. How's it, Hamish? Says Anthony, doing very well. That's going to be a hectic last 17 and a half minutes. I can tell you that right now. McLean having an impact again with the way that he was able to take that ball, but it was the run from Crichton, pierced through the defenders. He had 2 men on him and he bumped them both off. And then the perfectly timed pass to then be able to not just take Walker out of the equation. I think if Walker saw that again, he really shouldn't have gone for that ankle tap. And what it did was leave the gap for Ethan Strange to run through and score himself the second try of the match for this Blues team. But Crichton has shown some huge skill there. Crichton, not Crichton, it was Strange, probably got about as close as he could have to kicking Sam Walker in the head, but luckily did just miss him. That's magic, started from the back. Yeah, it was their catch from McLean, put them straight on the front foot, and then they just went towards the try line. This game is far from over, ladies and gentlemen. This is State of Origin at its finest, and you never quite know what's going to happen until those final few moments, and we're getting that here again today. And they're just talking about the fact that Ethan Strange, he was called into the starting lineup only a couple days ago due to the change. He's had a really good game. He had one disallowed earlier. That one can't be denied. Strikeout, says Natasha there. You can do it, the Blues. And also who tried, so it was Ethan Strange, the man who did score the try. It's an important kick here now. And he's pulled it away to the left-hand side. And one will hurt a little bit as the difference is still 10 points. Can we start blaming the ref? Or still too soon? And my neighbours are going crazy. It's because we just scored. And it was probably the best try of the match, I would say. We've had some pretty handy ones throughout those contests so far. But I would say in terms of just the setup of it, that's probably the best one we've seen. And full momentum now with the Blues. The home side, the crowd are starting to get louder. The rain is pouring at the moment, so the ball will only get slipperier. And the pressure only builds even more as this game reaches its conclusion. But 15 minutes now remaining. Why are you wearing a grey jumper? Is it cold or hot? No, it's pretty cold here at the moment. About 3 degrees Celsius is what we're looking at. So it's not quite shirt weather, I don't think. For Noah Blake, good run from the big man. He moves it up to 30 out. Queensland, we've got to remember, they are also down a man. What is the score now? 20 points to 10 in favour of Queensland at this point in time. But the gap's starting to get that little bit smaller now. Backline movement away to the right-hand side. Ponga, nowhere to be seen, but they have got a little bit of cover defence. And by Fidel. And it just seems like there's so much more space. Cleary with the cross kick. McLean takes it. He's done everything right. He passes to Crichton, who gets tackled by his own teammate in that scenario, but they're running short side. It's still fifth and final, but there's the knock-on on the ground. Are you Blues or Maroons? I am honestly, I'm just down the middle for this one. Are we over there? You hate Nathan Cleary because he's better than Queensland, says Marcel, for the ones who kept on saying about their dislike for Cleary. Papua New Guinea Chiefs, led by Jerome Luai. We're a good team when the Australian government allows them to access the NRL. Now another big carry as the rain does start to get a lot heavier. You can now see it much more on the cameras. Queensland only 15 metres out from the line. Cameron Munster, what can he do? The final moments of the game, Grant's been solid at 9. He's been passing the ball quite efficiently, but needs someone to break through, get that big chance for the team. 3 Celsius in New Zealand is warm enough for a speedo without a t-shirt. See you, Xander. Yeah, I don't think that would be too appropriate for me to wear on a live stream, though. You guys might be rather shocked. But now 5th again. How long now? Still 14 minutes remaining. Munster will kick it downfield off the left, decides to go low. Bit of a slip up there from To'o at the back, but the ball has now been gathered by the number 2. They're starting to slide around all over the place too. I think this game could become more open with the weather the way that it is currently. Are we over there? You crack up, bro? The try for the Blues I have been looking for all of this half. See Samson. But yeah, they've been close so many times, haven't they? And they have now got it. And the thing is, if they score now, again, This changes and there's space on the outside. Tedesco, he bumps off the challenge there. A Grant now charging forward. Strange almost through. He gets wrestled down. Now trying to play it quick, trying to slow it down were the Queenslanders. It's a rough pass. It was terrible from Tedesco. And he just needed that one to find the hands. They had about a 5-on-2, if not more than that. And now this bloke's doing a bit of a dance because he's got a bit of cramp. In fact, I don't know what he's doing here. He was putting his hands out. I think he's trying to keep himself balanced in that scenario. But the pass just needed to be higher. It just slid on through. And we have got this. This is a knockout game. I haven't followed this comp. But also, it is a 3-match series. This is match number 1. We've still got to do this 2 more times. Taking place in 3 weeks' time and then 6 weeks' time. As when the other ones are going to be happening. So, of course, be sure to tune in. For those on the channel too, there is a bit of cramp going on at the moment. But 9 errors at the moment for the Blues. There's been 5 from Queensland. And again, that's probably higher than they'd like it to be. But, yeah, it's going to be intriguing. Final 13 minutes of the match now. Minute by minute, we get closer to the end of this contest. Queensland, that's a penalty. High tackle goes against the Blues. We did see one earlier on that took the head off the Blues player and they didn't give it, but it is pouring down and Queensland now have a brilliant chance. Well, that wasn't even that high either. Still high, but not as high as some of them. This one's going to be put into touch. Watching from Papua New Guinea up the Blues. Says Solomon. Also more cramp taking place as well on the sideline that they are just dealing with. Go the Maroons. Says Raymond there as well. How's it going on there about the crowd, says Shani? The crowd are pretty timid in a way, just because of the way that this game started. But there's no denying that if they get one more try here, the Blues, the crowd will well and truly come alive like they did for that last try. Rush defense doesn't work out for the Blues, but they do eventually make the tackle. Now Munster picks the ball up. He's lined up and put down. Radley said, you owed me money, so he decided to smash him for it or something, because that one seemed to have a little bit of extra juice on it. We're going to see the replay. Harry Grant decided to run at someone who obviously had a big disliking for him, because that seemed personal. Now Munster goes for the grubber in behind. Taken by 10 metres out from his line again. Only the 21 metres gained this time for Queensland in the set. Although they've just made Brian To'o lose about maybe 11 metres from the way that they were able to push him backwards. Go the Maroons, says Harrison. And there as well, when will the game end? In 11 minutes' time and 11 seconds. When this game is going to be coming to a close. Still plenty of time. So a lot that can happen too. It's been so long since it... What happens if it's a draw? Do we go to extra time or do we just call it a draw and go into the next game, ladies and gents? I can't even remember what they do for a State of Origin draw. They are just talking about that Kalen Ponga send-off, though, in the 57th minute. Since then, it's been all Blues. The Maroons have had a couple decent chances, mainly from the New South Wales mistakes. Tedesco tackled. Another good one by Harry Grant. Now, 21 metres gained by the Blues. Cleary looking for the 40-20, and he's got it. Brilliant kick from Nathan Cleary. And the Blues, the momentum, if it wasn't already in their favour, it certainly is now. How many minutes left? 10 and a half. Still remaining in this contest. And again, it is far from over. Lacking a fullback in that scenario. Extra time, says Michael. It'd be quite nice, wouldn't it, to be fair, with the way that this game has gone so far. Extra time would be the icing on the cake. It just continues to get better and better. But now... ball is there for the Blues. 10 metres out from the line. Watching from Papua New Guinea. Says Lynn there. What is the time in Papua New Guinea at the moment, by the way? I always get my time zones a bit muddled up. But I would think it's about maybe 6 p.m. somewhere around there, or am I slightly wrong? Now going off to the left-hand side. Shoveling it on Crichton. It's only the third tackle. And they're sitting 3 metres out from the line. Back body drop. And an over-the-line situation almost. Just couldn't quite get it down for Casey McLean. Does use up an extra tackle in the set. Now back across, middle of the field, little bit of a set play from Cleary. Going in behind, still moving it on. Tedesco finds his man, keeps moving it. It's another great tackle by Cameron Munster. He is having a captain's effort here. Fifth and final miscommunication there from the Blues. And they just, wait, it's 6 again. It's a 6 again. That was a very late call. But it means that the Blues can keep on attacking here rather than having their last play be a bit of a dud. A bit of a miscommunication from the team as well. Looked like an injury there. Short pass and they're over again, the Blues. It's Nathan Cleary who has scored it ever since people have said they didn't like Nathan Cleary in the chat. He started to come alive in this game. In fact, he's had more moments throughout the last 5 minutes than the rest of this whole game. But he's now just scored for his New South Wales team. It's an easy kick straight out in front. This game's going to be 2016. I need to remember to breathe when I'm talking that quickly. I'm going to pass out before the end of this one. We have got there, it's 9:54. Oh, so Papua New Guinea only 2 hours behind New Zealand. I thought it was a lot more. Maybe I'm thinking of somewhere else. What's the time in Fiji? I might be thinking of Fiji's time rather than, oh no, Fiji aren't that far behind either. Who am I thinking of that's 5 hours behind? But a great run and a great short ball. Nathan Cleary, it was the mistake, the 6 again from Queensland. I forgot to let my water go in. Now I'm just slowly choking. We're all right. We'll get there in the end. We're almost all right. And we're good. Just like that. That's how you survive water, ladies and gentlemen. Be a bit of a rough one to drown from drinking water on a stream, wouldn't it? Don't know if anyone's done it before, though. Going down to the wire. Love it, says Studs Rays. How old are you? You look like you're 50 or something. Yeah, almost. I feel 50. Now Nathan Cleary. Ready to kick this one straight out in front of the post. Go the Maroons. Cesar Rufa there. And the rain is still absolutely pouring. And that one's gone over. 20-16. And come on, Nathan. What's with the Blues? One more try, says Stephanie. And the thing is, they're actually in that scenario where if they score and convert, they will take the lead here. That is why I had to try and reiterate a little bit. When they were 20-0 down, they were not out of the game. Like, there was still a chance. And that also comes back to that moment where they decided to go for the 2. When they were 18-0 up, Queensland. I think they should have gone for the jugular in that moment. Now, of course, it's easier to say that now when this game is well and truly on the line. Which it is. Because we've still got about 9 minutes of all-out action between these two sides as well. Oh no, in fact, 7.5 minutes remain, ladies and gentlemen. Big collision again with Whenua Blake. The Maroons says G. And also we have the how long left? Still 7 minutes on the clock. And, oh, that's an injury. That looked like a bad one there for Ruben Cotter. He does not look flashy. He almost ended up giving away a 6 again, but I don't think he knew where he was at the time that he was trying to play that ball. Now Tedesco plays half as IEO back on the field. Now breaking the line down the wing. New South Wales. Can they somehow pull off what would be considered as a miraculous comeback in this game? Ever since that Ponga red card, it's been all the Blues. How many minutes left? Still another 6. That's fifth and final. They made 59 metres that time. Cleary going high with it. And this one, oh, they've tried to call for the block there. There's a knock on from Queensland. And the Blues get the ball 10 metres out from the opposition line. This is the game right here, ladies and gentlemen. If New South Wales score now, I don't know how Queensland can break their momentum. Whereas if Queensland can defend this, then that might just about win them this game. But again, no guarantees with how it's been going so far. Sorry to go off topic, but I want to say Hurricanes win this weekend 24-17. It's going to be a good one. And Christchurch too, sold out already. It actually sold out on Saturday. Should have been a yellow, says Tayaki there. And we have got there, what a game. It's been crazy. Well, that's the thing. It looked like it was done and dusted, but it really wasn't. Because you can just never trust these two sides to not go out there and just have an absolutely incredible back and forth. It was definitely more so the fourth for Queensland in the first half. They're only a couple metres out now, though the Blues on the second tackle as well. Now away to the left. chance here. Cleary sells the dummy, but he is lined up early. Second half try so far, we've seen 2 from New South Wales, not a single one from Queensland. In fact, since they got those 2 points, they haven't scored a try. Now backline away. Cleary moves it on, 3-on-2. Tedesco couldn't get it away. What was a great tackle made by Kurt Capewell. 5th and final, 5-metre gain. Cleary sends it up and across field, and it's a knock on again from Queensland. And it means now again the Blues have 5 again right out in front of the post. Oh, referees getting in the action, trying to make sure that no one has the push and the shove. Bro, you should be in the bunker. Says Samson there. And also come on Queensland, says Alana there on the Maroons. And there too. Oh. Okay, they might be checking this one. Crowd feel like there was a little bit of foul play on their Blues team. In fact, no, they're not going to check it. They're just going to keep on going. No captain's challenges left for either side too. Isaiah Yeo, 2 metres out the line. That's the first tackle as well here, ladies and gentlemen. This is about to be a massive moment of State of Origin Game 1. It was almost a deception. Then there will be 6 again. And now just short of the line, it is all New South Wales. If there was ever a time to try and mount a comeback try, it is right now at Accor Stadium. Now back across to Mitchell Barnett. That is now the first tackle, and they're only 7 metres out from the line. Cleary moves it on. 3 men there straight through for Crichton, but he is ankle tapped at the last moment. This fast pace says broke leave. It certainly is now going away to the right-hand side again. Cleary moves it on. Murray doesn't quite have the space to go through there. And again, a desperation tackle made by Harry Grant. Isaiah Yeo. This time trying for the left. There's a slip, but the offload, and it becomes the penalty to Queensland. In fact, yeah, passed off the ground. What's that penalty for? I'm not sure what that one was for exactly, but it's Queensland. Oh, yeah, passing off the ground is the penalty. Oh, that was a game of almost milliseconds there. But that is the big moment that Queensland needed to perhaps give them enough to stop the comeback. They've still got time left on the clock, though, and I think it's going to get a little bit more hectic in the final couple moments, definitely, of Queensland eventually do give that ball back. We've seen 1 set of the last 8 completed by Queensland, 7 by New South Wales. I thought it finished at 10 sets, babe. Not quite, little bit longer. It did start about 10 minutes late, so I think that might be why. How much time is left? 3 minutes left on the clock. Currently, the lead is with Queensland by 4 points. They have got the red card of Kalen Ponga, but they still have that little bit of fight left in them, as proven from that last defensive set. They're up to their 5th, kicking it downfield. Walker, he just dribbles it into touch and decides that they are happy enough to have New South Wales take the set from inside of their half. Casey McLean ran through and bumped off entire To'o Samoa team. Aaron Clark ran over Junior Polo. And how long left, says Gemini? 2 minutes 30 now remaining on the clock, ladies and gentlemen. If you are new, of course, be sure to hit that subscribe button. We're going to be back for Game 2 and Game 3. The last 2 years, whoever's won Game number 1 has lost the series. So that means that there is absolutely no chance that this whole series is done and dusted as of yet. But up to the halfway line with Isaiah Yeo. Second tackle, 2 minutes now remaining on the clock. Nathan Cleary moves it on. A bit of a rough pass, but well cleaned up by Ethan Strange, who definitely deserves half a crack in the man of the match category for what he's been able to do as a late replacement. Now, quick rush defense there, missed tackle. Initially from, I think it was Flegler. Oh no, it might have actually been Grant. Now still the ball in hand for New South Wales. That is their 5th. Sitting 1 minute 40 remaining. I don't know if they're going to have enough time to get another set. I don't know what's happened here. Looks like a bit of an injury for one of the Blues players that was using up more time. Cleary goes for the up and under. This might be their last chance, but he's made it a good kick. It's contestable. It's taken by the Blues, and it's James Tedesco who scores the last minute try, the veteran, for the side in front of the home crowd. That may just be the game, ladies and gentlemen, and Queensland may have just blown a 20-point lead. You can see the heartbreak now for the Maroons. out there on the park. The crowd are electric. The players are fired up. And with 1 minute 30 left on the clock, the Blues may have just taken this game and taken game one. We're going to see the replay. That was the kick that they needed. The Cleary kick up high that was contestable, and a beautiful take from James Tedesco. And I just want to mention as well that somehow before that ball was knocked down, it looks like he was able to regather it as he was going down. We're going to see the replay here, though. They're just checking to see, is there a knock on from Tedesco into the arm? It's come off his head, it's come off his shoulder, and he has gone down over the try line. And now it's 2020 with the kick to come, ladies and gentlemen. And up the New South Wales, says Gemini. I bet Ponga's feeling bad now, says Jason. Probably. He'd feel awful at the moment with the way that this game has turned around. That's the Blues last minute, says Andy. And come on, the Maroons. One more try and you'll be caught up. And also, we got there a lot of nervous people looking on for the final moments of this game. That's insane, says Tayaki. It certainly is. But Tedesco, out of everyone to score a last-minute veteran-style try, it would 100% be that man. And he's done it again. He's done it before. And he's done it now. And what will be the match winner? You would think with the amount of time remaining on the clock, that should be the game for New South Wales. 20-0 down. To come back, keep Queensland tryless in the second half, and to close out this game in style. Look at there. 13 against 12. Says Peter Stow is there. And sorry for the Maroons, says Emmanuel. But now Nathan Cleary, he's going to take the grass out of his boots. He's going to use up as much time possible as he can. And it's a nice, easy kick too for Nathan Cleary, keeping a close eye on the clock. 28 seconds remaining. Where's the kick from? It's pretty much out in front, probably about 17 metres to the side. About as easy of a kick as Cleary could have asked for, and all but was scored between the posts by Tedesco. 15 seconds remaining on the clock, using up as much as he can. He has to, of course, kick this one, or else you're in that scenario. If he gets timed out, we're going to golden point. He's using up as many milliseconds as he can. The clock stops at 5 seconds. What's happened there? It has completely stopped. Cleary's. What's he doing? He's now lining up his kick again. I assume he's used up all the time that he can, and by doing that much, he has forgotten how to kick. This might go shanking for Nathan Cleary if he's not careful. Straight out in front, he gets it over, and that makes the score 22 points to 20. 5 seconds left on the clock, time wasting. Yeah, so he tried to use up as much time as he could. And it has done just that. So 3 seconds left now on the clock. That was kind of weird. Yeah, in Union, you get timed out and they'd say unlucky, you don't get to take the kick, which I thought was actually the case in League as well, but I was wrong. That is the full-time siren now, just sounding how long is left. 0 seconds. One last phase. And then that will be the end of the game. One tackle that has to be made. Queensland are kicking it off to the Blues as well, so they will kick off short. They slap it back. This game's not over. Queensland in the possession of the ball. It's going to be a tricky one. They're looking to the short side. They have to find a way of keeping this ball alive. It's knocked on. The Blues get the ball. McLean takes the tackle, and Queensland has suffered a loss after the 20-point lead. The Blues have come back at Accor Stadium, and what was a crazy 80 minutes of State of Origin yet again, as it always is. But what a phenomenal comeback in that scenario for New South Wales. They were down, they were out, but they still had a little bit of fight left in their tank. And yes, the red card maybe made it a little bit easier for them, but there was still a lot of work to do. They had 2 disallowed tries, and they had a Queensland side that in the first half looked on their A game, double digits. As well, I should mention for the New South Wales handling errors in this game. But some Cleary brilliance in that middle stage definitely changed this game around. He scored the try. He got the 40-20. And that is what changed the match in in New South Wales' favour. Game over indeed. 22 points to 20, the end score in this contest. What a game, eh? Seemed like it was done and dusted in the early stages. I was thinking we were going to be just saying time and time again, oh, well, Queensland have got themselves another, but no. They still had something in them, New South Wales, and it was those few minutes before the halftime break as well when they seemed to just find a bit of their rhythm. And then from there, the red card of Kalen Ponga, since that red card, they did score 3 times, New South Wales. 3 times? 2 times. Must have been, yeah, it might have been 3 actually, yeah. Nathan Gillieri, what a legend. And first game, keep quiet. Says Kenny in there as well. Yeah, at the end of the day, the record, like I mentioned, the first win of the series has led to all of the sides in the last 2 years losing. So that means now that Queensland, if the trend continues, win the next 2 and win the series. All right, your commentary has me very interested in the competition. When is the next game? It is in 3 weeks' time that the next one is going to be taking place. Keith has said F off, idiot. That's nice. Nice and friendly from Keith. He obviously put money on Queensland. But looking at the next 2 matches that are going to be happening, it is going to be New South Wales versus Queensland, another home game for the Blues, and that one is in 3 weeks' time, same time as this one kicked off on the Wednesday, and then 3 weeks after that, it is going to be another game, and that is Queensland's home game. So whether or not we're 1-1 heading into that one, or whether the series will be secured, we'll have to wait and see. They scored once Ponga was gone. Says Faith, yeah, they scored the 3 tries, I believe. I was doing the maths in my head, trying to work it out, because they did have the miss kick, didn't they, earlier on, which was the only difference there. We have got their chest for the commentary. Says AI Underdog, no worries at all. We are going to be back with plenty more commentary all throughout the weekend, ladies and gentlemen. So anyone who is new, of course, be sure to hit that subscribe button. And like I mentioned, Super Rugby this weekend, Crusaders versus Hurricanes. If you guys are on the stream, be sure to check it out. I don't even know what to call it. It will make sense. I'll know how to explain it at the time. But pretty much it's a mini competition that if you get your predictions right, you win real prizes. In terms of merchandise or gift cards, I'm not sure what it's going to be yet. I have to talk to the fellas who are also running it. But yeah, do thank you all very much for tuning in. If you did enjoy, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. And I will see you all for the next one.